Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 508th episode of the GeekVerse podcast. I am the tax collector, Trasnell, and I'm joined by
the gold standard, Kirklin Patzer.
The Adam Hartcaster, Dilmas.
I'm the tax Taylor Field.
So I'm collecting you. That's what's going on, Taylor?
Oh, you're collecting me, yeah.
Now, I think I've asked you this before, Taylor, but you have not seen a horror movie titled The Collector, right?
Oh, why does that sound familiar?
It just feels like you would have, because that's what mine's based off. It was the guys that did Saw 4, 5, and 6, and it was just a guy who like pretended he was like a bug expert, but then he would go in your house and just kind of put you in terrible situations and stuff like that.
Sounds fun.
Never saw it, but I'm definitely familiar with it.
Okay, that's fair.
What about the Bone
What about
Collector?
it?
I feel like that's a movie too. The Bone
I
Collector.
saw that one. Yep.
Yeah.
Denzel, Angelina.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Wait,
Mm-hmm.
but wait, was the guy a collector of bugs? Because I thought you meant he'd like go in to like exterminate them or something.
He would collect.
So was he
people.
collecting bodies or something?
So he would usually kill a bunch of people, and then he'd always take one person, and then he'd put him in a box, and he'd bring that box to the next kill site, leave that body there, and take another. Yeah, it was really
He's leaving
good.
a real trail of evidence behind him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You find one, you find them all.
Yeah, the first one's like really low key, and then the second one just gets bananas. But I was a big fan of that. I'm still waiting for the third one that will never come out. But you know, if anyone's seen The Collector, let us know in the Discord, the chat, and everything like that. Because just a little gem there. That was when I was on my Saw kick. You know, anything from the producers of Saw, I'm like, oh yes, more torture porn and stuff like that. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 508 as your GeekVerse news episode. This is going to be a big one, I guess a big one, but a juicy one, what I was going to say. Lots of good stuff popping off this week. Taylor Field, where can they find us?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us with your internet connection in the search bar. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerse Cast our Twitter. GeekVerse on our Facebook.
Yes, everything is down below. The links, the audio, the Discord, our separate feeds, the podcast network's feeds, everything and in between you can find. We want to thank everyone that listens, but a big thank you to our patrons because our patrons keep this wheel going. Kirklin's new job, he's already failed at it, but that's okay. We could not do this without you, especially right now. I'm doing almost daily casts right now for the middle of the week, and they're lots of fun. We got Retrospective, SideQuest, which Dylan, what is happening on SideQuest this week?
This week, the Steam Deck review released, and next week, I'm joined by a couple guests, actually, from another podcast to review Live Alive and Mario Kart courses and all that good stuff. So definitely a good time to check out SideQuest. It's going to be a fun one this week.
Yeah, and then I kind of forgot, too, that Gamescom is happening in a couple weeks, too, opening night live. So there could be some juice going on there. So, but yes, thank you to our patrons. And what you can do is you support us. And not only do you support us and get nice benefits and tiers, you get a whole bunch of more content because you're supporting us. So the more you give, the more we can give back. Ad-free episodes, exclusive episodes, depending what tier you're on, you can get up to 3. You can get the one that just dropped this week. All our significant others are all together. It's a very, very fun one. And listen to that because next Saturday, I think it's a morning one after 9. We're going to respond a little bit because I have some things to say and everything like that. But yeah, it was a good one. And yeah, we got a lot of other stuff popping up. You can get the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings retros early. Some of those are going to be dropping next week. But me and Taylor are going to do a book review that you can get early. Just tons of stuff with the patrons. So big thank you. S-Bubs, the tax collector, a budget of $30 million, a box office 1.3. That can't be right. No. How did it get us? The tax collector. Okay.
Oh,
I meant the collector. I was like, it got a sequel. How did they do that?
I was wondering that too.
Oh, let's pull this up here. The tax collector.
Well, that was in 2020. Like, when in 2020 was that? Because you got to give them benefit of the doubt.
Ooh, it's a Shia movie. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, it was July 30th, 2020. So,
okay, that's like the
Lopez.
worst time.
Jennifer Lopez?
George Lopez. I love George Lopez.
Like, what a step down. Right? It was a David Ayer movie. Good thing to bring him up, the director of Suicide Squad and everything. But, Rotten Tomatoes 18%. And people on Amazon really liked it, though. 4.6 out of 5. IMDb 4.8
Very reliable
out of 10.
reviewers over there on Amazon.
Yeah. So, I remember hearing about this, and I almost watched it, and I went, nah. But, yeah, I'm talking about the collector, not the tax collector. I wasn't looking for that. Chris Balg in the chat. I hope you had a good Marvel Alliance. They're saying anything happened this week. Just a few things. But, yeah, we're going to talk about some DC news. We're going to talk about some Marvel news, talk some Star Wars news. It's hitting the 3 pillars this week. And a big thank you to the Phase 4 Patreon producers. I could see Kirklin was waiting for me to drop it. Aaron Brain, April Darkness, Smalley Biggs, and Joshua Wright. Joshua Wright, in the next few weeks, we're going to be recording Fantastic Mr. Fox for you. So I'm very excited. Yeah, and I'm excited to see what the kids think about it, too, because they've never seen everything. So... yes, and then you can also hit up Manscaped. Now, right now they have 20% off. I don't have this confirmed, but Taylor, did you confirm? Oh, he has some product that he's bought with our code. You know, you support the product, you support our sponsor, you support us. Now, Taylor, have you tried to double it up yet? Because remember, last time, so currently right now, Manscaped does have 20% off, but last time that happened, you could do 20% and then get another 20% with our code. So that might be still a thing. So
well, if the website's doing a discount, you can double up with the code. I tried that myself.
So right now, you could get 40% off. Oh, thank you, Kirklin. I had it too. You could get.
Well, it wouldn't work.
It's 20% off the 20%.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fair. That's still even better than just
off.
Even better than just 20% off. You know, like we're got some good stuff happening right now. So you want to go to Manscaped and check that out. And like I said, they support sponsors, support us. It's summer. Start shaving it up. I don't think so. Chris asked, will you all be doing a Sandman review? I was not on the cast, but I listened to your guys' review of the trailer. They were not a fan of said trailer and everything like that. Chris Balga, he's probably just flexing because he got a screener of some of the first few episodes, so he has seen it. But, yeah, what's she laughing about, Taylor? What are you laughing?
Oh, just doing a screener. I'd like a screener for Prey.
We kind of got a screener for Bullet Train. We got to see that 3 days early.
True.
You know, it's not too bad.
That's true. That's good.
Check out. We got non-spoilers. That spoilers review will be dropping sometime tomorrow, probably like after the movie comes out. Just one episode you got there, Chris. But no, I might because I'm home, and maybe I will make that a segment. But I never read the Sandman stuff. That's a portion of DC I never got into. So, but if not, look for it on the podcast network because I know a bunch of them got screeners as well and everything like that. So go look into that. Kirkland Patzer, you have a video up here now. Hopefully make sure the audio's on. So I asked these gentlemen in chat, let me know.
The audio works on this because every time I like share the YouTube videos, right, we don't get audio.
No, it happened last time. No, remember when I played the Resident Evil one?
That's right.
Okay.
To
find out.
Yeah, which I'm still fighting that claim for Resident Evil. They fucking blocked us, but you know.
You ready?
But yeah, because the audio has to be working. Now pause it. Let me try my YouTube video because I feel
very loud for me.
Okay, let's see here. Tell me, do you hear water? Oh, I'm not even screen sharing. Jesus Christ.
I hear something.
I hear the video.
Okay, you heard that?
Are you on YouTube? Is that how?
Yes. So I'll screen share.
So weird.
Now.
Okay.
So anyways, this was an off conversation. Someone let me know if in the chat, if you've seen the Grizzly Bear Kokanee commercial way back in the day. In 2000, it was a Super Bowl commercial. So here we go. Have any of you seen this?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm wondering why it's
I have not.
prominent now, though.
Because it just popped up and I forgot about it. Yeah, Dylan had it. And I'm like, this is great stuff and everything like
News
that.
to me.
Yeah, so I'll add to the stream there. Here we go.
At the river mouth,
That's quite
the
loud.
bears catch only the tastiest, most tender salmon. Which is exactly what we at John West want.
This is good stuff. Look at him, he's fighting this bear. And this was like the first thing my dad ever downloaded on LimeWire and showed me. You got to see this commercial.
I love the footwork of the bear.
Oh yeah,
pretty
but
good
he made a mistake right here. Look at this. Oh man, the bear just got nutted.
John West endured the
it's Pete
worst
Santa.
to bring you the best.
There you go, and that's all. Apparently, it's a part 2, but yeah. Interesting. I don't know if that was worth it for you, Dylan, but
It was not a Kokanee commercial.
No, I thought it was a
No.
Kokanee commercial, but
I see you got
can't
the
wait
actual
for you.
video playing out there.
oh, I didn't mean to. I still hear. I'll get rid of that. Anyway, stop screen. Let's stop this. Let's get out of here. You know what
Great
is being
start to the cast.
yeah, you know what's there's so many 1-stars. They're listening to commercials on the air. Well, we just stopped that video. You know what's stopping right now? Any chance of us seeing Batgirl. So I'm going to do this in two parts. We're going to talk about Batgirl first. I want to get all your opinion. And then we're going to talk about like the greater Warner Brother DC, just some things they've announced, rumors, things like that. But yeah, started on Tuesday that there was rumors that, oh, hey, Batgirl might not be happening. And it went to a lot of A-tier people reporting, yeah, it's not happening, to Warner Brothers putting out a really bad statement. But yeah, so they have decided to not go forward with Batgirl at all, whether it's theatrical or HBO Max. Publicly, there's a lot of rumors. Publicly, they're kind of going with this narrative of, well, it wasn't that good, and we wanted to, as Zaslav would say, he doesn't want to damage the DC brand. He's trying to protect the DC brand. I don't know what the fuck that means, but you know, it's just an IP. But so that's the kind of public thing they're trying to put on, is that they want to put movies in the theaters or release DC movies that are the quality and show off the brand and everything like that. Behind closed doors, lots of rumors are they're just trying to do like a tax write-off, and there's like a certain cutoff what they can do. And if they do this tax write-off before August, what happens is Batgirl can never be released for monetized gain. So they could like put it on Pirate Bay, but they could never put it on HBO. They couldn't put it on YouTube. Anything they make money off, if they do this, which sounds like what they're doing to save only $10 to $20 million, but you know, I guess they feel that that's the better way. You'll never be able to see Batgirl unless it gets leaked or something like that. So Taylor, Phil, I remember we were talking because we saw Bullet Train. You picked me up and you were flabbergasted. My favorite thing was you trying to explain this to Madison, who was just trying to play catch up with all this. He's like, you know, that Michael Keaton Batman, but yeah, Batgirl, we are no longer getting. What were your initial thoughts when you heard about this? As far as just if you were excited to see it, and two, just what's going on over there?
I was very excited because it's just expanding the universe, getting some Keaton in there, getting a new Bat character. I mean, let's go. That's fantastic. This is something I always was advocating for DC, just to branch out from their mainline heroes and give us different takes, like your Birds of Prey, and focusing now on like Batgirl. Like, these are characters I want to learn more about. I really wanted to explore their origins and their stories, and then have familiar components added in. I think that was fantastic. Now, I thought this news was like, it dropped, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna be told shit because I'm not reading the article. I just read the headline. And Travis was like, well, what would you say, like Stand By or some of that? I'm like, oh fuck,
I did. I was talking to some people.
Good. This is rough. And yeah, I mean, they just dropped the ball, eh? Holy shit. I was looking through the list here of movies that didn't that were made and didn't come out, and they already got Batgirl slapped in here.
What is this list? Are you looking at the list right now?
On IMDb, yeah, like number one, they have 65 titles. Number one was the Fantastic Four, so I guess Batgirl has gone the way of the 1994
Oh,
Fantastic
you mean
Four
in general? I'm like, I don't think they've stopped 65 films. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Zaslav is on a
busy,
tear.
Eye rolling.
Fantastic Beasts 4, like, yeah. No, one day we're gonna review that Fantastic Four, because when we do the retro, that is a movie that it got shut down, but it is on YouTube now. So that might be one day in 50 years from now, you might be seeing Batgirl on YouTube. You know.
And we will review it.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait for that day.
Yeah.
I just think at its core, it's super, super shitty. It just gives like PTSD of like, hey, we're at Target one day, and then you see the news like, hey, you guys are out of a job. And while they already did their jobs for the most part, it's like no one's going to appreciate their jobs. So it's just shitty. I feel like it's disrespectful. It's unfortunate because business is business, and this guy can do whatever the fuck he wants, you know, kind of a thing. And it's very unfortunate because I feel like there should be some leeway or some boundary or some kind of buffer. I mean, maybe that's what severance pay is, I guess, in the end. Some people are going to be compensated for their time. People are going to be paid out. They're not going to make as much money as they would have had the movie released theatrically, of course. But it's at its core, it's just negative, even though people are going to be paid and they're going to like shelve it. It's just disrespectful to the fan base that have been really anticipating this. It's disrespectful to Leslie Grace. It's just all around just has a very negative component attached to it that I don't want to say is even like embarrassing, but a part of it, there is a level of embarrassment for the company overall, because you invest so much of that money towards something like this to make it happen, and it's going to have such a good reach out to not just the superhero demographic, but like kids out there that love seeing these superheroes, and especially individuals that come from different cultures from around the world get to see like different characters portrayed by different actors and actresses. Like, it's just such a really good positive representation, and for that just to be like axed, it's a bad taste in the mouth. So I'm not happy.
Now, I would say that was some of Taylor's like best well-spoken things. So I don't want to ruin it, but I do have to ask you about this thumbnail and what was your inspiration of it? The tax deductible. Where did you get this idea from? I like it. It's very jazzy, but like because you're like, I got an idea, and I thought it was going to be about the DC reboot thing. It's not. It's a bunch of pictures of Zaslav and the words tax deductible covered in money, and he's looking very happy. When did this pop in your mind? Like, what was the inspiration?
This is a complete fluke, actually, because initially I was thinking, okay, something DC rebooting popping, and then like I'm just obsessed with that image of Zaslav on the far left where he's like finger gunning forward and he's got this smile. I really get a kick out of that photo of him. And then I saw Dave, he put it on his thumbnail for a show. I'm like, oh, I really wanted to use that. And I'm like, well, I can't just like outright use it. So I thought, okay, let's stack it up here. So I found an image saying tax deductible on Google. I just threw it up, and then I put some money in there, put some Zaslavs in the background, and it's not fuck. I looked at it like, this is some of my best shit I've done. I love this.
It looks like a film poster. This is the most we've ever had tax. Like mine is nowhere as near good, but one of my trash told you I had Batgirl like looking at like a tax guy and stuff like that with her
I
goggles
like that.
and stuff
That
like
was
yeah.
good.
So lots of taxes making appearances and whatnot. But Kirklin, Batgirl's not going to be making an appearance. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. This was very crazy, and like I feel like I should mention too, like I'm pretty hands off on Twitter. I feel like I go on there like every 2 or 3 days, and then it just kind of like catch up, you know, check the notifications, things I'm mentioning, and then go from there. But for whatever reason, I was just so oh, actually I do know the reason. It was because I early in the morning before the Batgirl news dropped, there's some wild F1 controversy that happened. So the F1 Twitter was popping off, and I'm like, holy shit, this is wild. And then I was just kind of glued to the Twitters because it was like happening as I was watching it. So that was kind of fun. and then what followed that was the Batgirl stuff. So I don't think I've ever like spent so much time on Twitter in a single day than I did on that day. And it was wild. It was wild just to get like other people's reactions, and also just it's just such an unprecedented thing to have a movie that I've heard 70 million, I've heard 90 million. Is 90 million just because of like the COVID stuff? Because
Yeah,
it was, like,
I think because there was
delayed,
like some maybe reshoots and stuff. But yeah, the budget seems to be 70 to 90 million because at some point 80 was thrown out, so that's why it's just the broad 70 to 90, and it was final weeks of post production, so they're close to be finishing that.
Yeah,
close
like
to be done.
yeah, exactly. I heard it was like a week away from being like perfect, like just basically completely
Perfect.
finished.
Nolan level good. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just to have so to have something that's close to $100 million just kind of thrown in the trash, it's just so insane. Like just hearing that alone, but like when you actually like dive in on just the people that are like affected by this, like it's really like disheartening, I would say. Like I just feel so bad for kind of everyone that was involved, specifically like Leslie Grace, because she was just super pumped for this role. Like I just remember a DC fandom like last year, like her just like talking about the suit and like just like like all of her passion, and just so excited for like us the viewers to be able to see the project that they're working on, and then where we are now. It's so upsetting that just we won't be able to see that. And like like everybody's been mentioning, like she's gone to like children's hospitals wearing the suits, and like all those kids that were like excited to see this character like on screen, they'll just never get that. Like that's just so brutal to me. And I don't care what the reasoning is. It's just complete bullshit that this is even happening, honestly. Like I don't care the logistics of it. Like I understand there's so many things that go into like a big merger of like at the end of the day it is a business. Like you do have to be in the green.
Product,
like like if they're all in the red, like we're not getting those projects. So I do understand that you do need these business people. But like that aside, like it's like I'm not even deep in on the DC stuff, and I just find it baffling. Like I feel so bad for the people that probably love like this character, and I was so excited to see them on screen. So excited to see Leslie Grace, I believe, is like Latino descent. So like a minority group character getting like a spotlight, like just representing other people of that ethnicity. Like it's so crazy that this is just completely thrown out. And
Kirklin, can you name me 3 Latino superheroes that you've seen in live action? You're not going to be able to.
I'm never getting Blue Beetle. So
well, we don't know for sure, but everyone's worried about that. But the answer is you can't get up to 3. You know, that's the thing. Obviously, I'm talking Marvel DC. I'm sure there's other characters, of course. Danny Trejo's a superhero every time he's in a movie. But I'm just saying,
Machete.
in our main line, like the biggest thing the MCU has is you just got America Chavez.
El Diablo.
El Diablo, the prison guy from Suicide Squad who like beat his wife. Yeah, great representation. And then like what's Michael Pena play? Luis and Ant-Man.
Right.
You know, like it's very few and far in between that demographic.
Exactly, but like this is the main character. Like this is in the spotlight, and I just feel so bad for them. And like I'm just like we're less than a week of this happening. Like I'm curious now what's gonna be just the ripples of this and the other things that they're gonna be canceling, because this isn't it. Like they've already been canceling things, and that's not it either. That they are gonna keep doing that. I feel. And like I also just have so many questions because I'm not a lawyer. Like I don't really know what goes into like the legality of something like this happening. Because like just from my own camp, I feel like there should be some like legal repercussions. Because like a character, like I understand you sign contracts and all that stuff, but like let's just take Leslie Grace. Like this was her main project that she was working on for, I don't know how long they're filming for, but like that amount of time that she's just not able to work on other projects, or like just
she said 9 months they were filming, so it was
9 months,
but
that you just kind of
they all would have been paid. They all would have been paid beforehand for it. The question is the residuals, though. If they had like back end points, that's where it's like. But remember, and I don't know if they'll do the same, but when HBO last year or Warner Brothers threw all those movies on streaming, they paid them off after as like a make good. Again, though, I don't know, because Leslie Grace is not like big top tier star. I don't know if that's like.
That's what I was gonna say. Is compared to like the ScarJo case when Black Widow got put on streaming. Obviously, she has a lot of leverage and is able to do something. Whereas I was looking at Leslie Grace's IMDb, and like she's been in one other movie and in a bunch of music videos, so she obviously has no leverage. She's not gonna be able to like do much with the power that she has. So in her case, it sucks because she's just kind of shit out of luck there, and there's not much she can do about it probably.
Exactly. And like what if she was getting like just offers for other projects? But I guess that's just the name of the game. Like sometimes you are kind of taking a gamble of signing on for a project. Sometimes they're terrible and sometimes they never get released. But so like I am curious on that regard of just, again, like the repercussion, what's going to happen, because I'm just not really well versed in what goes on to that stuff. But at the end of the day, it just absolutely sucks. It sucks so much that we're not getting this. Again, like I said, like I'm not a big DC guy, but I was still looking forward to this project because it's just something that I haven't really seen like in the past, like just a Batgirl focused film. Like I definitely never seen that before, and I don't know. I was really excited with what I was seeing with her suit reveal, and again, just all like her passion talking about DC fandom. Like, gosh, it's so upsetting. But I'll pass it along because. Yeah, it's just it's crazy. It's crazy that this is even happening.
I was gonna say, Dylan, like, so we lived through the Snyder Cut era, right? And I honestly thought like that was something that was unprecedented. Of this, like, this director falls out, they get a new guy, they chop it, and then we get like the film release. And I thought, okay, that might happen again in our podcast life at some point. But I didn't think like within 3 years something like this would happen again, where it's almost that same extent, but it's almost kind of worse, because the thing is, at least with Snyder, he had that opportunity. He could go back and fix it. If they do this tax write-off thing, you can't. I think the only way they could go back and fix it is they would have to repay those taxes, and I'm gonna tell you, this company's probably not gonna repay those. Like, oh, we'll give that money back. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen. So what do you take from all this?
Yeah, I don't know if I have too much to add past what you guys said, in that of course it sucks for the creative people who have been working on this for a long time, especially because a lot of them are either like obviously starring a woman or people of color who don't, haven't had the opportunity to shine like other people. But I also I don't know, I don't think I had really any hype for this personally, just because I'm not a huge DC guy. And even look at like the directors worked on 2 episodes of Miss Marvel, the first and last episode of Miss Marvel. So one great episode, but one shitty episode as well. So like I don't know if that's much to go off, even like looking at the writers and stuff. Like, it's just a lot of new talent in here. So I think whoever greenlit this project with these people, they were absolutely taking a risk when they did so. And so to some extent, like I see where they're coming from, of like, maybe this is a bit of a riskier project for them and they don't want to spend, like, we always talk about how like, okay, whatever your budget is, like double that for marketing. And yes, you could change that in specific cases if you just put your trailers in front of DC movies. I don't know if that's like cheaper for them to do, or if you put it on your streaming service, like maybe they could make that a cheaper thing. But like if they were still having to throw a ton of millions and millions of dollars at this and it wasn't going to be a hit for them, then like maybe they made the right move. Obviously it still sucks, but we also, one thing we haven't mentioned is that along with this they also canceled the Scoob like prequel movie or something like that. And I was looking up this, and this is just like a me Wikipedian thing, so I don't know how, I didn't verify these numbers, but the first movie, the Scoob, had $90 million budget, which first of all, I don't know how the fuck you spend $90 million on a Scoob animated movie. I just don't understand budgets in Hollywood, obviously, because that seems crazy to me. Kirklin, you're muted. I think you were trying to say something.
I was just
I thought he was gonna keep talking. He was like, "Oh, that's gonna be an interesting cast."
I was just saying they got to teach a dog how to talk, man. $90 million.
There you go. But yeah, so budget of $90 million and box office was $27 million. So
yeah,
obviously that's a huge failure. Why the fuck was a sequel greenlit for that? Like that kind of goes to show that there is some wonky decisions going on with the previous leadership and stuff. So yeah, I mean, obviously it sucks from the creative's perspective, but at the same time, like business wise, this actually does make a lot of sense for me. Unfortunately, I wish it didn't happen and we could have got to see it, because I mean, where this movie is at, we're saying that it's done filming, but like so I guess they're in the editing process, maybe throwing effects on it
they're
still.
weeks away from post production, so that means, let's say most, maybe they had 14 days and this film was good to go.
Yeah, so
they've done almost everything on it,
and then marketing for several months.
Yeah, of
all
course,
this stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It obviously it sucks, and I would say if you are a big DC fan, get ready, because there's probably going to be a lot more of this happening. And I think it was just last week we were looking at like a big someone, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago.
Alan Horn.
But we were looking at like someone made like a picture of like, here's all of DC's projects that are announced. And that's a shit ton of things. And like, I don't know how far along a lot of those are, and it's probably irresponsible to announce a lot of those things so early when they aren't anywhere. And now people are going to be bummed when those things get canceled. And I think a lot of them will. And unfortunately, this was, of those kind of projects, the one that was obviously furthest along. So it hurts the most, because a lot of people have spent months and months, and some people probably even years, to make this happen. So for them to do all that, for it to not turn anything, really sucks. And I hope those people, like those directors and writers and this actress, get an opportunity in another way. Hopefully, like, someone sees what they were working on here and maybe offers them another position or something like that. So
well, I think those guys will be back to the MCU, because Miss Marvel, obviously we're a bit more down on it, but Miss Marvel's the best reviewed thing that MCU's ever put out. So I think Feige's they're gonna bring them back with open arms. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, you guys just had this terrible experience. Well, remember Miss Marvel? That was lots of fun, right? Oh, Leslie, yeah, bring over." Like I've said before, I hated that studio's statement. I was like, "Oh, we can't wait to work together again in the near future." Like, however you feel about it, I don't think there's a chance these directors do anything with Warner Bros. For a foreseeable future, or like a leadership change if something happens there, because it just. If you're the creative, you're looking at this going, man, I've spent over 2 years of my life working on this project, and now it's just thrown out. Because like I said, and this is where everyone goes back and forth, I still don't, I don't know, I guess I would have to go by how much it costs. And obviously we had Birds of Prey, but with this being PG-13 as a Batman thing, and you're going to have Michael Keaton also in it, I just still could never buy that this was at least not going to make its money back, like at least. And it's weird. And we're talking about the next topic. Like, I would get if they're rebooting, but they're very kind of wishy on that, of like, they say things that make it sound like that, and they say things they're not. But the only thing, because I talked a lot about this week, the only thing I'd say that to respond to Kirklin was when you talk about like, oh, what's the legal ramifications? I don't know what's going to happen with this one, but the ramifications going forward, I think, are going to be big, because you're going to have a lot of, and even creatives have said that, of like, you're going to see a lot of changes in contracts and stuff like that now, because it's the same way as like, look what happened to Nolan, right? He didn't like what they did with Tenet. He left Warner Brothers, and then when he did his film with Universal, he had a whole, has to be in movie theaters for this long, has to blah, blah, like he had a whole list of things. And I think you're going to get that now with a lot of people, a lot of like, if you cut my film, like actually you can't cut a film, or if you do, you're going to owe me like 300, like they're going to be
cut my film, I'll cut you kind of thing.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be that might be a little bit much, but
in the contract, you got to cut, you know.
100 cuts just, but no, I think that's going to be a game changer. And I do think that's the only thing, even if it's it could be business smart, because I don't know. It's hard to see because we didn't get to see the test screenings. They were mixed of some people saying it's good and they're saying it's bad. I don't believe it was bad. I think they're just putting that out as like a narrative right now to be like, oh, it's a great idea, we cut this. But it's going to be interesting going forward with certain creatives. Like Warner Brothers already had enough time last year when they put all those films on HBO and everyone got pissed off at them. I think this is almost worse for like the creators' point of view of like who they want to work with and stuff. So yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be, what the fuck is that, Taylor? Why does this look like a Dave Zaslav
Whoa.
angel or devil in here?
You heard us talking. Hey guys.
That's terrifying, actually.
Testing the transparency out.
Very
It's
nice.
a new feature. I haven't seen that before.
Let's take an ad break and get the fuck out of here. So when we'll be right back, we'll talk about some of the DC and Warner Brothers and HBO Max, all that good stuff development. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So yeah, this happened, and then today there was a whole bunch of stuff. They announced that HBO Max is going away for a year. Again, I don't know why you just wouldn't dump the movie on. If it's true that it's just worth 10 to 20 million, I find it really hard to believe like this $1 billion company. Like I guess it's all about being in the green, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like you could have got something. But either way, HBO Max is going to be here for about another year in America, and then they're going to make a new streaming service with their new Discovery, and they're going to combine them a bunch. They put out some charts that people didn't really like of showing the certain audiences. They did a bunch of stuff of like, here's what the old regime did wrong. This is what we're doing. There's all these rumors like right now that Flash and Shazam are getting, and Black Adam are getting, or not Black Adam, just Flash, Aquaman, and Shazam are getting delayed. They didn't talk about that today. They just said, oh, we've seen the films and they're great and we think we can make them better. So I don't know what that means, but that's that's a quote. And then there's rumors now that there was a Supergirl movie in development that they're going to be axing that. What else? Oh, and then the big thing. Oh, go ahead, Taylor.
I was just gonna say, do you think they went up to like Dwayne Johnson, just told him that, like, you know what, we saw your movie, we're gonna delay it though because we think we could make it better? I think they told him that to his face.
No, they probably fed him some other bullshit of like, oh, this release date works a lot better. But honestly, it could be because apparently like Black Adam, and this is where it's so funny because again, you have Leslie Grace versus The Rock. There's rumors that Black Adam had its test screens and it did very poorly. But then you're not getting rid of The Rock's film. You know, no way you're getting rid of that. So it's like, oh, we're gonna keep pushing forward. And you got this Batgirl film that apparently tested better than that. It's like, oh, this is, again, I've hated this quote going around from scoopers of people saying, oh yeah, insiders have told us that they feel this movie would hurt the DC brand. We fucking lived through Suicide Squad, 2017 Justice League, and DC's doing just fine. Like, I don't think one bad Batgirl movie, if it would have been bad, would have taken down the behemoth of DC Comics. But apparently that was the worry. But and then some other stuff was, so they said today that, and I talked about this on Travis Told You, and I can't wait to get your guys' opinions, that they got a 10-year plan, that they've done a reset, not a reboot, a reset, along with Alan Horn, who they specifically said was integral in the DC Marvel bring up with him, Bob Iger, and Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige's name was dropped multiple times in this earnings call as the example. And they even said the inspiration to this model is what Kevin Feige did with Marvel, and that's what they want to be doing. So, Dylan, I want to ask you, what do you feel about them specifically saying that? But also I want to ask you, because this is another topic that comes up all the time, but when you hear that, obviously they got rid of Batgirl, but they still, as of right now, have a slate of films. Because that's been the big debate with these words, that like it's reset, we have a new structure, a new plan, but they never once were like, oh, we're starting over. But they never once said, oh, we're keeping what we have. They're very loosey-goosey with what's going on. So what do you think about this? They got a 10-year plan, Dylan, just like Feige, a 10-year plan. We're going to get another one of those charts coming up soon.
Can't wait to see those charts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny. When I saw some of this, I was like, getting some deja vu. I'm like, didn't we just kind of talked about this? And I went back and yeah, me, Travis, and Kirklin. It was, if you want to go back and listen to this, it was like the DC Black Label, whatever. Like that was the title of the episode.
Yeah,
we're talking about that because Zaslav then was saying, you know, love what Feige does. I want to try and find a Feige type to bring into the company. And I don't know, just like this to me, it's like it's a completely meaningless statement. Like, of course you want a Feige type. Every single producer everywhere wants a Feige type because he is like one of the, if not the best producer of all time. If you
money-wise,
like
probably. I think money-wise, he's probably out there, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, that's in modern times. That's with the same genre as they're working with. So obviously you want a Feige, but like there's only one of him around. So I don't know. Like with this 10-year plan stuff, like I'll check in on 5 years and see how that's going.
Yes.
Because all this stuff takes time. Obviously, it took long, like since that acquisition when Zaslav and stuff like took over, it's taken some time before he actually got like whatever it is, the power to be able to axe these things, and it will take a long time before we see what him and his new squad, like where their creative chops are and like how successful that is. Now, in terms of the idea of getting someone in that role that you can replicate the Feige, we've talked about how they didn't really have that previously. They kind of had more a mishmash of random people doing stuff.
Yeah, they confirmed it. They showed a chart of their studios, and DC was there. So it sounds like they've made that a wing at least. Before, DC was always just under all of Warner Brothers. DC is going to be like Marvel, where it's going to be its own separate thing, apparently. Yeah. So they are doing that.
Yeah, it's just it's a tricky thing to say because you have to imagine that some of these things are going to keep going. Like assuming Black Adam does well, which I feel like it will. I'm not talking about the reviews, just like in terms of money, money and stuff. I'm sure The Rock would want to keep doing that. So, like, I don't know. Do you keep things like that going? Obviously, I have no doubt in my mind that the Batman trilogy is going to finish with Matt Reeves at the very least. So
they cited that as a success for them. So I think that's safe. I think that's safe. Yeah.
They love their little buzzwords. Yeah, it's just like it'll be weird to say they're doing this reset and like, is this 10-year plan involve a cinematic universe, or is it just having content planned for this amount of time that we're trying to hit? Releasing whatever it is, 2 big movies a year, like our TV show is a big part of their plan here. So I don't know. It means pretty much nothing right now. But yeah, I mean, even in like a couple of years, just see like I don't know if they do post one of those images that shows here's what we're planning to release at this kind of time, and get an idea and see what kind of directors and stuff they pick, which kind of projects they're going for, what characters are they deciding to go with, because that'll be very telling of who these people are, and if it's something that we can get excited for, if it's just going to be the same thing of you get a Superman and a Superman movie, you get a Batman and a Batman, like that would be unexciting. Hopefully they have a little bit more nuance to their ideas.
Yeah, I think because that's the confusing thing to me when you keep saying Feige and Marvel over again. To me, I think that's cinematic universe. To me, like if you're using that as the model, but they never said that, right? And I think it's. I think it's. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I wonder if that statement is just like a shareholder thing, because shareholder, Feige, you're gonna get a Feige type.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, we love Feige. That guy's made us so much money. It could just be like something like that, which is. Yeah, he's not talking to us when they say that. They're talking to their shareholders. That's possible too.
Well, yeah, and to me, like what I didn't announce is they had like I think it was like 1.5, like something like. Of loss or something like that, but a lot of that was because of the restructuring. So it's like when you let people go, there's packages and things like that. But this was like one where their quarter earnings were down from the last time, right? So for me, it's just as of right now, it's a lot of buzzwords, and to me, it's like let's go in there and talk about the most successful brand and the most successful guy and say we want to be like that. And it's just like we've heard this before, and we've heard the only thing that's different is this time it's coming from them specifically. It was always scoopers being like, "Oh, DC really wants to be like Marvel. They want to have this." This is them actually being like, "No, we do want to be like them." And for me, it's just a bunch of buzzwords right now. It's probably just because we had like a bad week with them, because I still think even if it's on HBO Max, they could have at least just put this film out to like keep a good relationship with creators for the Batgirl people. But S-Bubs, every time they say Feige, the stock goes up. Yeah, that's how they keep saying it over. Oh, Feige. But yeah, I think for me, it's just a bunch of buzzwords till I see it, because 10 years, that's a long time. It's not like Feige is an anomaly and MCU is an anomaly. Like it's never happened before, right? So just to say, oh yeah, we got 10 years worth of plans. I've said this for a while now. My opinion keeps changing on what they're going to do in the future and everything. I think they're leaning more towards a reboot, but I've said that I think they're just going to sit in the films that they believe in, let launch. Because like Superbad Mike says, you're talking about that with Black Adam. What the first Aquaman made $1 billion. What if this one makes $1 billion again? Do you just scrap that? Do you just get rid of Momoa and the third? Let's just start over. No, you don't. So I really feel like they're gonna sit back and let all these films come out and see what they could pick and choose, or if it's worth. Because let's say if they all came out and did poorly, then they'd be let's just hit the reboot button. Let's just start this all over, start fresh. Because no matter what people say, as pissed off as we could be, that will always be fun. If they're like, hey, we're doing a new Justice League, we got 7 members of the cast, like Fantastic Four, right? You get every week of rumors and this person's in talks, and yet like that would be a fun time. But at the same time, you still have people like again, it's mixed messages because also last week they just brought Ben Affleck back, right? And that to me shows the non-reboot sign of like, why even bother if you're just going to get rid of this? Who cares? But if it's like, well, we might stick around with it, that brings up the whole Henry Cavill thing again. So I lean towards they are maybe gonna reboot because in my opinion, I'm the reverse. I don't actually know if Black Adam's going to do that well. I don't think Shazam's going to do well. I think Aquaman will. I think Flash will. I don't know if Blue Beetle will, but I have a feeling either if it doesn't get canceled, they're not going to promote Blue Beetle that much. I feel like they're going to look at it as like lesser than. And now there's no Batgirl, so I think that's it. So
I was feeling pretty solid about Black Adam doing well. What is your reservation on that one specifically?
I guess
expensive DC movie.
Most expensive. Well, that is true. The Rock said's the most expensive DC movie of all time.
No, that's a big deal, man. $300 million. Well, yeah.
For me, it's just the release date. I don't think October is a good time for it. To me, I thought that was a solid summer movie of like action-packed adventure because it's like bookend between like it has Halloween ends, and I think there's something else. But then even like 2 weeks after that is like Wakanda Forever. I just think it's in a bad slot that it's in that time where people are Christmas shopping and they got to save their money and they might save their money for Black Panther or Avatar or something like that. And I don't know. I feel like The Rock's, I'd hate to say this, but I just wonder if he's starting to lose some of that steam. And I feel like it's almost because he's just all over the place all the time that people might be over it a little. So it all depends if it comes out or reviews really well and people say you got to see this movie, but I feel like it's not going to bomb, but I don't know if it's going to be that instant, hey, we got to make this a sequel, but I could be wrong, right? The Rock could come up here and then it kills it and then it's like, oh yeah, I doubted The Rock again, so. Have
they done like early screenings for it? By chance?
Black Adam, yeah,
Where were you 10 minutes ago?
See, remember who? I think it was Clay, Patreon Clay said this like, yeah, lately I've been catching you doing this. I literally said,
I gave him another one you can catch.
I literally said, I said that they tested it. It didn't test well, and they did reshoots for that. And apparently, because the rumor is, and that's the other thing with these scoops that people say, Flash is not, because people say, okay, you scrap Batgirl, but why not Ezra? Because there's all this issues going on with Ezra, right? And like news report is they're in a cult and all this stuff. I don't think that's true, but there's all these things going on, right? But
that's
the problem,
like an easy cut, yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is that's like a $200 million, maybe $300 million plus movie, and all the reports are it's tested really well. Like people it's screened well and people like it. So like, well, we're not going to get rid of that. And so yes, Taylor, they did test Black Adam. Apparently, it wasn't too well received and stuff like that. And Sawbone Centrix is right. Says there's an alleged Black Canary film on their slate. That's dead. That's not happening. Yeah. Especially because I think that was for HBO Max. Like I tweeted that out. Because that was one of these other reports that they want. He kind of said this where he feels like DC needs to be the best on the big screen. The report was that they looked at Batgirl, and they said I was getting Black Adam and Batgirl mixed up and made a bad slip there. But that was my headcanon. When they talked about this, they were saying it was too small to be on too small to be a big DC event, but too big just to put on Max, which is like didn't make much sense. But the report was they want all DC films for now to be like a tentpole, an event film, which I think fucking sucks because like a film like Birds of Prey, I think you're never ever gonna get again with this regime. They're never gonna greenlight this like character study of girls hanging out, kicking ass, being criminals, anti-heroes, and Black Canary, not a chance. That's a spinoff of Birds of Prey. You think Zaslav's gonna look at the box office Birds of Prey and be like, yeah, let's do a spinoff of that? No chance Black Canary is happening anymore. I don't think so. Have you go? Oh, go ahead. Yeah, Kurt, you go. Because Taylor probably needs to list. He probably has to replay the cast.
Repeat the last question.
He has to scrub back a little bit.
I'm going to say everything they just said. No, I actually have some questions regarding that. So when was The Flash last delayed? Do you know that top of your head? This might be a tough
ask. Strange question, right?
I think
how many
was
movies
fandom,
can you say that
it?
for?
Was it
No. Remember, it was the sweep of when they delayed Aquaman and it was after the Batman, because what happened was before the Batman they released that DC is for the 2020 year of heroes, and it had the Batman, Aquaman, and Flash. Those all got delayed, so I think it was sometime in the April to May somewhere.
When did Zaslav enter the picture? Was it in April?
So last year was the buying, but the official day he took over, I think, was the springtime. Well, I think someone said it's been like 111 days, so it could line up.
Yeah, okay. I was just trying to propose the possibility of if the Flash got delayed for any reason to try and just set up more resetting of like anything that
We're gonna
they're
make it
moving
better,
forward with.
right? That's what he
Well,
said.
it's like it's already being seen as like a reset button for a lot of
April
Travis,
8th is when it went
April,
in.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll find out when Flash was delayed.
Because I was just trying to, as you guys were going in my mind, think like, well, if they're already trying to use the Flash as like a reset button for a lot of things that were already happening in the DC, like, does it get delayed because they're just trying to like really put more emphasis on that reset button? Like, is that too much of a stretch?
So there's a little bit of a mix-up, but thank you very much. Flash was delayed March 11th, but he didn't take over till like a month after.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
there still could have been some talks of like, hey, I'm 28 days away from taking over. Like, just do this for me, you know? So
yeah, it's interesting because I feel like it's still like if he enters the picture, there's probably still some time for them to like be looking at the projects of like shifting things from the time that he enters. But
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It is kind of fun to look at that maybe that is the purpose that it got delayed to just make room before they announce all these act scenes. Like they probably already made those decisions like a while ago, and it's like we'll just go forward with this case. Again, a little bit tinfoil hat maybe, but
because remember,
I
this
love my
isn't
tinfoil
the
hat
only
theories.
DC film. They were doing that Wonder Twins movie, and they axed that,
yeah.
or the same thing. And you thought that was bad, where they casted it, they were scriptwriting, they're like gonna shoot in a few weeks, and they had shut that down before it started to shoot. Have been like, no, even though you just cast all these people, stop it. We don't want to do it. That's like to the lesser degree, but they have technically canceled 2 DC films so far. So
Interesting. Yeah, and then so yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But getting back to like the whole 10-year line, Feige type character we're looking for, it's buzzwords. At least from my perception, like it means absolutely nothing until I actually see like what their plan is, and it is solid and it sticks. Because it's not even about having a plan anymore. It used to be have a plan. Like you have your projects, okay, everything's filmed, everything's gonna be fine. You think it's safe, and now it's a whole new game that we've entered. So
because he said 10-year plan, but he didn't give us a plan.
It's a great word though. Like, hey man, I got a 10-year plan. And it's like, oh, what is it? Well, it sounds good, right?
And the plan is to hire a Feige type.
Well, that was the weird thing, right?
It's
Where
a
he
scene
said,
in The Office. He's like, I got a 10-year plan. It's like, well, what is it? Well, I can't tell you because it's job security. You got to hire me.
My plan is to hire someone who will come up with the 10-year plan.
Well, that's what I was that's what I was talking about with Ray, who Kirklin, he would hate your name, the gold standard, but you know, Ray, it's true.
Holy shine light on me.
Anyway, so the thing is, he said this like, hey, we did the reset, we've had a whole creative shift in 10-year plans, and everyone was kind of like, and I brought this up, like, if you had if you've made a 10-year plan, right, but you've said you're going to go hire a chief for DC Studios, shouldn't you wait till you hire this chief to be like, yeah, we should do a 10-year plan? And that's why it's like, I don't believe it, because if they had that person, if they had the Feige, they would have trotted them out today. They would be like, and this is the person running things. Alan Horn's there as an executive, but he's just an executive. He's not the chief of this thing. So it's just like, how you have a 10-year plan, but of what? Like, because then it's just like, if you have a plan, why are you going to bring someone in? So same thing. I just think it's a fun thing to say, like, oh, we've planned out the next 10 years. It's like, what's the plan? Just to make DC movies? Great, you know? And even then, here's like one, and Kirkland, you can say that. What happens if the first movie in that 10-year plan underperforms? And that's where it's just like, but this is where we're in the recycling.
New 10-year plan. Let's do it, guys.
We're in the circle again. What happened? Man of Steel. And that was looked at as like, oh, well, that underperformed. But it's like, we're doing BVS. We're doing BVS. And then what happened when they thought that underperformed? Okay, well, you got to make Justice League more funny. Okay, we're bringing in Joss Whedon. And that created just a 5-6 years worth of just problems after problems. You know, like all this stuff like spawned from they were unhappy with that. And like, you can't guarantee it's a hit no matter what you can. Like Iron Man, like, yeah, it had Nick Fury saying, oh, I want to talk about the Avengers, but it was not hey, this has to work so we can get to Endgame. It was like, well, we're just going to try and make these few films and see what happens, and not the initial, well, we're doing 10 years and we're good to go, you know? So
yeah, and SBub shared a tweet in the GV Discord. Go join for some fun times in there from a viewer anon, and it was what was it? It was an important thing to remember about the really successful cinematic universes, the MCU Conjuring universe, is that they didn't start out as cinematic universes. And I feel like that's such an important thing because as we were just as you were just talking about, like, this is our 10-year plan, and then step one, if it does not hit like really, really, really successfully, I feel like it just throws off everything that's to follow. Whereas like that is going to be putting so much pressure on everyone that's making that very first project. Like not so much for the second, not so much for the third, but really that first one is, I mean, I guess it is important for all three so that you can get the 4, 5, 6 to eventually get to 10. But I guess it's 10-year, not necessarily 10. Yeah. Oh, that's so great.
this tweet that was going on, Warner Brothers watching Shrek's build up reputation of the best streaming service and then just burn all down. That's Paul Dano. Boom! That Paul Dano from Batman just yelling is one of my favorite things. Yeah. The Dark Universe, the anti-blueprint. Remember that? Do we all remember that photo we got of Javier Bardem?
It's a classic,
and Johnny Depp and all these people we're doing the Mummy, and then boom, here comes more.
I want to throw this out there because at no point are they saying that they're doing a new cinematic universe.
Nope. It's just they said reset.
Yeah.
So people are like, what does that mean? But they never specifically said, and after Flash, we're starting over.
So that's where if we do get this reset and it's the first project of the 10-year plan and underperforms, if it's not a cinematic universe, I wonder how much that affects things, like if they are just solo projects, and then if it is super successful, you can tie them in later, retcon it. Who the fuck cares? As long as you get those characters together, that's all people care about. So, yeah, I mean, still, obviously, if you have this 10-year plan and like 3 or 4 DC movies in a row suck and don't do very well at the box office, then your plan's not going very well, cinematic universe or not. And as opposed with the iconic timing on posting this same image in our Discord,
so good,
of the Dark Universe. So.
It's good, man. We'll get some of them. But yeah, so Kirklin, where are you as far as, do you think the plan is to reboot, or you think they don't even know?
Oh, they definitely don't even know. And like if you're asked for my opinion on like what they do, reboot, or is reboot same as reset? Not really.
No, I think, that's where people...
Reset is like a kind of a meaningless word, right, as well?
I think reset is when in movies when they go in the washroom and they splash the cold water in their face, like, okay, and they get back into the courtroom and everything. Reboot to me is like we're recasting Wonder Woman.
Reset would literally mean cancel everything and anything that was planned and start completely fresh. So obviously they're not quite doing that.
And
everything. Aquaman 2 gone. Flash
and
gone.
That's the big thing right there, is that you do have these very successful films in the mix of this absolute clufuffle fuck. That's a new word for me.
I like that. It sounds like a Pokemon name or something.
Yeah, it does.
That's who they're hiring for the studios. Yeah, that's a kerfuffle fuck. They're gonna lead DC the next 10 years. You're like, I don't trust kerfuffle fuck.
It's one of those things where it's happened in the past where we've had something like the Snyder Cut, where it's actually really great quality, but we're just not going forward with it. I guess anything could happen now, but like we're just not going forward with it.
You know how many red eye thumbnails are out there of Snyder's coming back and stuff like that? It's like Snyder is filming 2 movies right now, and then he's going to film a third at Netflix. He may come back,
but he didn't know about this news. He's like he's too busy making.
If he comes back, sure, that's going to be like in 3 to 4 years. The dude has 3 films over there at Netflix, and he's starting his own cinematic universe with zombies and shit. Like, I think the guy, and even then, like, and Dave, you probably have a good point because I was watching one of his streams, but it's like if you're a Snyder fan and you have this guy who, or you have this team that just you have a guy who just put a team through a very similar thing as you had a movie you're making and then he cut it, got rid of it. Do you really do you think Snyder wants to walk back into that? Like, he's gone through that rigmarole already once of, hey, we're going to take your film and chop all up and everything. Like, do you think he wants to come back when someone just got their whole film canceled? I don't think so. I don't love all his work, but I think he's a smart enough guy to be like, Netflix is offering me at least 3 more movies, and DC's what? A gamble? No, it's not going to happen.
I said this back when the Snyder Cut was officially announced that it's happening. It's like, man, DC fans, you are the luckiest people ever that you're getting this second chance. Don't ask for any more. You got the once in a lifetime miracle. Like, just take it and be happy with that. But of course, people want more. They're greedy. Oh yeah. Just like Zaslav.
It's just like, don't be greedy. But that's the thing. Like, people talk about lucky. I guarantee you, if Zaslav was the owner around that era, you're very lucky you got a Snyder Cut, because I don't think you would have gotten it in this time. Like, I don't think, and we'll see. Maybe that is the thing. Maybe in 5 years, they do some Comic Con where they walk around the Snyderverse and continue. But I really don't know. Then again, if these films bomb, they'll start over. You reminded
me on why I was bringing up the Snyder Cut of you have something that's very it's just really good. Like it's just great quality, and we're just not getting more of it. Like that does happen. It's I don't know. It does happen, but still, like have these Aquaman like billion-dollar title movies in the weeds of this just bullshit. Can you just tell your like no, we're just gonna completely get rid of all that and then just gamble that we're gonna be getting some really great actors that are like great casting for the characters that we're doing?
I don't think so.
And
I wouldn't
the
do that.
fans love it. No, exactly. That's what's so tough. That's why you can't. I feel like it's not an easy answer on what they do here, and this whole situation is very messy and uneasy. And Zaslav's making some very, I don't know, say what you will, but like he's making hard decisions at the end of the day. And he's there's not really a right or wrong. Like I feel like he's going to be seen as a bad guy no matter what happens. I don't really know too much about him, so I can't really like say personally about how I feel about him, but
the right or wrong we'll tell in 5 years, as if things are rolling in whatever direction.
Halfway through the 10-year plan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, like Dylan said that. He said, right, like I'll check back in 5 years. Same thing if they're on. And that's where the other thing I said this on the Trash told you that like why another reason why I'm against or not against why I think the reboot might not be happening is in the same week, sure it's being used as a distraction, but they announced Joker 2. They officially announced Joker 2. They gave it a date and they had Gaga confirm that she's in it. So it's like, if you are rebooting, I would feel like you'd be like, hey, cut out all that other shit. Like the shit that's not connected to our universe, like Feige. Like, look at Feige. Everything now that's what if is like, yeah, but it's still in the MCU universe. It's still a Earth we could travel to. Captain Carter, like all these things of what if Peter Parker. It's like, yeah, they're not in the MCU, but they are. That's the thing where I would feel like if you're doing this universe in the future that's going to be connected, you'd say, okay, sorry, Matt Reeves, you can't do another Batman. Sorry, we can't do another Joker right now. But
that's not his concern. It's just like a financial standpoint.
100%, and that's where it's just like, hey, is that what you do? Is you just go for the money wise? But yeah, and this is I mentioned this earlier. There are already videos hailing Zaslav, the guy purging DC of wokeness, so infuriating, dumb, and that's the problem with the whole protect. Like you cancel a film that has a female lead that's a person of color, and then you drop the protect DC. Now I don't think that's exactly what he means, but take from what you will. He was a Trump supporter, and two, like the timing of it's not great, the verbiage and everything like that, and that's where it's especially too if Blue Beetle gets canceled, another Hispanic hero, it's not going to be looking good the optics. But like Taylor said, for people saying that, I honestly don't think the guy gives a shit. It seems like he is now stuff. It's funny, you do a few wrong things, and people go back to 2015 and find some quotes and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, he's not said anything like Trump level racy, but just sort of like he was talking about branding and how it should all be kind of like Republicanized and stuff like that. So,
who would fire him? Like who's his boss?
Nobody.
Again?
He's the guy.
Oh shit! So tweets aren't going to do
He's
much.
the owner.
Then.
No, he's not going to. He'd fire himself, then rehire himself and stuff like that. If they were, go ahead. Sorry, Dylan.
I was just saying, whoa, fire himself and hire himself is a pretty wild concept.
For more money. Better sign-on bonus.
This one, I hate to be a tease and stuff like that, but who would be your Justice League lineup if we did a straight reboot? Check on in a few weeks on Patreon. We'll be doing it the same way we did the MCU kind of look. We're going to say, okay, let's say they did recast or they did reboot. What would be their plan? We're going to do a whole cast on that. So
I was going to say, just pull up that Dark Universe image. That's my pick right there.
Wow.
Which one?
Right.
All of them. They're
all of them? That's just it? Yeah. And they do got just one woman
the
there.
Same photo, too.
Even they bring back Johnny Depp. That's bold.
Anything to save a buck. Let's use this picture that already exists instead of taking new set photos.
If they brought back Johnny Depp, I would legitimately believe they're trying to get rid of wokeness. Because, like, oh, this is, like, we got rid of Amber Heard. We're bringing in Johnny. He won the case. Oh, get rid of the...
I didn't click it.
That was me.
It's like an evil Force ghost.
That's like so it's like the same image, and then you just have the Zaslav Force ghost.
Yeah. Boys is going to have great material for season 4. Absolutely, man. They did so much stuff with the Snyder Cut. It's going to be great. But Taylor Field, I want you to recite everything that we've said from the last 20 minutes. Go.
Black Adam.
3 minutes?
No,
you're already wrong. We did not mention Black Adam.
No, let's take an ad break and we'll get Taylor's thoughts and then we'll move along. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So yes, Taylor, what is your take on all this? The reboots, the resets, the this, the that, what's going to be happening in 5-10 years, stuff like that.
I mean, he's obviously got his little 10-year goal booklet plan that he's just going to be scribbling in.
A booklet.
Ideas. Yeah, like my goals for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so forth.
But they're in years?
They're in years, yeah. Okay, cancel Batgirl year 1, reboot year 2.
Recast Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, he's made some bold claims, some bold changes. It's wild just to drop your flat 10-year plan on the table is definitely a
Were you gonna say
bold
dick? Were you gonna say
I was
dick
thinking
on the
about it,
table?
but the kids are listening maybe, so
You paused for too long. I was like, I know what expression he wants to say.
it just astounds me that you can just stroll in and just be like, yeah, I got 10 years worth of plans here. It's all going to be okay. Just trust me. And then,
They did purchase the company last year, though, so to give them some break that it's been, over 365 days, right? Like, it only got official in April because you got to go through all the legality, but they have over a year probably been thinking, hey, we could do this, we could do that, etc.
That's fair. Then you get to spend like a year lurking in the dark, just watching like, man, these guys are going to fuck up again. Oh, they fucked up here. We could have done this. And then it's weird to think that this whole time while they were planning things and they started production and work on these movies and these series and franchises that in the shadows, this guy's going full Palpatine, like, I'm going to fucking cancel that. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to cancel all this shit. And it's just super, super wild. So, especially because they didn't get to know about that, but I digress.
Not till his wedding day. The director found out. People didn't know that. Yeah, on his wedding day, that's when they gave him the message of, we're not doing your film. It's like, ooh, great timing.
Time and a place.
On the front of them just, I guess, reformatting these movies, I truly do believe it's completely financial at this point. Like, oh yeah, Joker 1, like the profit was absolutely through the roof that they made on that film. So obviously he's going to be like, yeah, this is obviously a good theatrical release that we'll do and we'll make another $1 billion from there. And it's shitty. It really is shitty because he's looking at it from that financial point of view. He's looking at these movies with these big names and everything that'll do really well. Now I know there's a lot of names behind like DC Super Pets, but I haven't looked at how well it's doing at the box office. Not good. Okay.
Nope.
So I think that again, there's a good showcase there of like, hey, just because you have big names in these movies doesn't mean you're gonna be making tons of money. And maybe that's why they're concerned when it comes to Black Adam and those kind of things that are on the slate right now, because they have big names behind them, but it's not necessarily going to be making big money. So whether it's like, I don't know, I'm not sure what their game plan is in the end. He just wants to create these big films. Like, obviously he's a fan of Godzilla, so that's definitely an uptick for me, but yeah, it's tricky. Like, does he have 10-year plans for all of these films? Like, his 10-year plan for like The Nun 2? That's what we're starting off our new Conjuring 10-year
Well,
plan
probably not,
with.
because they listed DC as the top priority.
It's the top priority. Oh, of course. Okay, good. Yeah, it's janky, it's shady, it's like a back alley kind of transaction. I'm not buying it. Like, I'm hoping that this 10-year thing, they can maybe sprout a couple of cool prominent seeds.
What's
that
back
turn
alley
into
about it?
sunflowers.
Isn't it like he bought a company and now he's doing stuff with it?
Oh, he's doing
Back alley
stuff.
deals.
He's
How
doing
is that
stuff
back
already.
alley? I don't know. Just corporate Hollywood.
I just hope that at this point in the game, it's totally out the window of like, hey, yeah, like we used to Travis, we got Iron Man 1, and this is going to segue to Avengers. I don't think he's thinking like that at all. It's just at this point, financial gains, and he's just going to start popping movies. We might get into a stage here where we have like 5 different Batman movies. Like, I just keep seeing these rumors like, hey, they threw Michael Keaton in Aquaman 2, and people were confused why he was there. I'm thinking like, well, that's really weird. Like, is like guys' plan just to fucking say, Keaton, just fucking show up on all these sets?
No. Okay, roll that back. That was not his call. That was done before.
Okay.
So quick to give you some info. They had originally it went Flash and then Aquaman. The reason Keaton wasn't Aquaman is because supposedly in the universe, Ben Affleck's Batman was going to be written off and Keaton's Batman would be brought back as the Batman. So that's why he was in Aquaman, because now Arthur's Bruce Wayne would be Michael Keaton. But now people, when they watched Aquaman without seeing Flash, said this didn't make any sense because they hadn't seen Flash. So their test screen, they're like, why is this guy? And now, especially because Aquaman is before Flash now, so that universe swap doesn't happen. So that's why.
Oh, I see.
So that's why
Okay.
Ben's back, because they didn't do the switch yet. So like, okay, put Ben back in, and then Michael Keaton. He lost his Aquaman scenes and he lost his Batgirl film. So he's down to one
Zaslav
appearance.
is just like an anti-Keaton guy.
Apparently, yeah, he fucking
He
hates
got paid
Keaton.
for all that though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Just for showing
yeah.
up.
Yeah. He probably got
Zaslav's
paid.
taking the
He's
money
got like the
back.
Keaton tax on it too, so it's probably just like
Keaton
way
tax.
more than what he should have been getting
The
paid.
Keaton deduction. You got to do that thumbnail next. Is there anything else to add on this that we haven't covered? Any questions? I'm sure this is going to be a revolving for the next 3 years of our podcast. We're going to get so much developments and talk and stuff like that. And I hope it's not another, hey, Batgirl got canceled situation. I hope it's just greener pastures. But anything else on this?
Yeah, I hope DC gets their shit together. I hope in 3 years we can say, okay, they're actually in a good place right now.
Yes.
Things are going well.
I agree.
But I don't know if we're primed for that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Grass is greener on the other side.
Well, talking about that green grass, let's talk about some MCU Marvel rumors. So I got 3 of them right now. 2 of them from like not too bad source and everything like that, and then one is like a C tier scooper, but they've had some luck recently. So I'm gonna just rattle these 3 off, and then we're gonna talk about them, and you can tell me whatever order you like. If you have nothing to say on them, you can pass on. So the one rumor that this person, there's My Time to Shine. They've been kind of getting some traction. Like she was one of the first ones to put out that Miss Marvel is gonna be a mutant, stuff like that. So there is backing to this. All they put was there was an image of John Bernthald's Punisher and just said he's coming back. So that's rumor 1. Rumor 2, Patton Oswald said in an interview that Eternals 2 is happening and Chloe Zhao is directing it. He's like, they've announced it. They've not announced that.
Very quick question. How is Patton Oswald related to Eternals? Is he in that movie?
Watch Eternals, yeah, and you'll find out, yeah.
Okay, so he's like an actor?
He has a role in it, yeah. Okay. He has something in it. And then...
I'm planning on watching that this weekend, so next week on the
There you
newscast,
go.
I'll give you my review if you want it.
Yeah, we got to ask. And then I've said this before. I don't know if she was a famous TikToker or just a random TikToker. But there's a TikToker on a boat. She's like, "Where's Moon Knight season 2?" And she panned over, and the director's like, "Moon Knight season 2," and they're in Cairo.
Her name is On a Boat?
No,
Or
I don't
on a boat?
care. I don't care. She was.
What's
she
her
was
name?
on a boat.
Oh,
she
I thought
was
you meant
on
her
a boat.
name was like on
No.
on a boat.
On a
I
boat.
apologize.
On a
I
boat.
had to
Boat.
Whose boat was it on?
That's amazing.
So no, she TikToker was on a boat, and she said Moon Knight season 2 when, and then she pans over, and the director says Moon Knight season 2, and they're in Cairo, and then pans over, it's Oscar Isaac saying, "Why do you think we're here?" All winky and whatnot. So lots of people are thinking about Eternals and Moon Knight are going to be D23 bound. That we got in a few weeks, so check out that. That's going to be a fun day. So Kirklin, I'm going to start with you. What do you think about these 3 rumors? Go.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty hard to come up with a different reason on why they would be there in Cairo for the Moon Knight thing.
They couldn't just be traveling, vacation. They liked it the first time.
Together,
come back.
hanging
Yeah.
out.
Absolutely, I guess that is possible. I think the little eye wink though is a little bit too on the nose, and I
don't know
one
if
of
he
those
actually
thing-
winked his eye. It just felt like
Okay.
that was the type of vibe he was putting out.
Okay, I haven't seen the video, so I was. Going
I'll
off
get
your
the
your
video, see if there's an
descriptive-
eye wink. Sorry.
your descriptive description, I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I feel like maybe it's something that's because Marvel's so like trying hush hush on any leaks like this. I feel like maybe it's even some like they've been allowed to like actually like do that, like just to get the ball rolling with that one. And what was the other 2 rumors? Because I feel like I just heard the Moon Knight.
Eternals. Your favorite. Hang on,
Oh,
before we move on,
right.
I got the video. I got the TikTok
Thank
video
you.
here
Yes.
from, and we can get it. We shout her
On a
out.
boat.
Haya Atia, I think that's her name. So there you go. I'll hit play right there.
I can't see. You didn't bring it up.
I didn't bring. Fuck, man. Jeez. And I'm saying fuck man to me, not Kirkland. He didn't deserve
This
that.
is the
Man, you didn't do
TikToker?
that.
Yeah,
That's
this
the
is
The
TikTok.
question on everyone's mind, is there a season 2?
Why else would we be in Cairo?
Okay, see, it wasn't a wink.
Okay.
It wasn't a wink.
Eyebrow raise.
But like, hey, let's go. Oh, I can't.
Looks
get
like
it.
he could be kind of like Stone, like he doesn't understand what's going on.
Is there
He
is there
does kinda
evidence
look
that this happened? What is there evidence of when this was recorded?
No,
Ooh, okay.
I don't think so. At least S-Bub's got.
Does anyone know what Oscar Isaac looks like right now? Does he have this beard in his just daily life right now?
He is
I got a guy following him right now. I'll ask him.
He's tailing
He's in
him.
his closet.
doing
right
some
now.
back alley deals.
He's at the top of the pyramid with binoculars.
His phone goes off, and
Oh.
Oscar just looks in the closet. What the fuck? And he just shoots him down.
I'm gonna pull back what I said. I'm gonna say no. This is baloney. This doesn't mean anything. This is just maybe he is in Cairo. I don't know. Just the whole video. It just seems very vacation-y and not really like there for recording. Like maybe they're just
took him
there
down,
scouting
come on.
out the like trying to get in the Moon Knight vibes again to get inspiration for writing the movie. But Oscar Isaac probably, or not movie, TV season 2. So yeah, I'm gonna say baloney on that one. It just kind of happens to be too close to where Moon Knight was stomping around in Cairo.
Okay.
So, but yeah. And I feel like it's also just a fun thing for Oscar Isaac to say. It's like, oh, they're gonna go crazy when I do this eyebrow raise.
Yep.
And with Patton Oswald, rephrase that one. I completely.
Patton
forgot what I
Oswald
said.
said that they had announced Eternals 2. They hadn't, and he said that Chloe Zhao was going to be directing again. So the woman who did the first one, the Oscar winner. You happy about that, Kirk?
I could. I'm kind of indifferent on it. I'm just I don't really have much attachment to Eternals at all. I believe that she would come back for it. She definitely. It's not like she's a nothing director, right? Like she got an Oscar, didn't she?
Zaslav, she might be. Fuck you. What did Eternals make? Nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, I believe that she's coming back. When was this statement supposedly
This
made
week.
from Pat? Okay. Was
Yeah.
it like on his own podcast? Was it on a TikTok in Cairo?
He was
or
being
something?
interviewed or something.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that she will be coming back to do Eternals. It would, I don't know. I feel like she kind of had. I don't know. I don't have like some scientific answer on why I think she's coming back.
Stumped
just
him
yet.
with this one.
Yeah,
He's in that.
I'm just thinking about the
back
eyebrow
alley.
and what that means.
Well,
Is he Moon Knight?
Espo says Big Screen Leaks, who has had a pretty good track record, said that he let it slip early. So yeah, probably D23. So it's
okay.
looking like that's the thing. And then Punisher. All I want, because you don't have much affiliation
Yeah.
with the Netflix John Bernthal one. I just want to ask you, because this is what we were talking
I've seen
about.
it actually. I've seen Punisher.
The whole show?
Yep.
Really?
How many seasons?
2.
Doesn't know how many
Okay.
seasons and he's seen the whole show.
Yeah.
Maybe I
yeah.
haven't. It's not like it came out last
You
year.
never mentioned
Taylor.
one thing about it. That's why I was surprised. It's like you with F1 or Peaky Blinders. It's just bullshit all over again, you know? Like,
No.
oh, I love this stuff. What I was
Maybe I
gonna ask
haven't
you,
finished season 2, but no, I definitely finished season 1. Great show.
Alright,
So
alright.
is this just regarding possible coming
Well,
back?
you done
and-
interrupting me? I'll let you know what it's about.
Well, I listened to
you
your
know,
cast on Tuesday. This is basically what
Yes.
you're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's what I want to ask you, because
Yeah.
that's what everyone talks about. That's what we chat. We're coming back. I was like, yeah, okay. I'm sure you would just say, yeah, I'd like to see him. But
Yeah.
what context do you think they'd use a character that is the gun-toting, you know? like, how do
Yeah.
you use that with Disney Plus? Like, I feel like
The
that's
symbol
harder.
and everything and
Yeah.
where that's going right now. And
I feel like that's harder to do than Deadpool, that character right now in this climate.
100%. Yes. I go listen to Travis's great episodes this week. I agree with a lot what you said. I think if they wrote it really cleverly, that it's like kind of tying in a real world where like there's actually these assholes kind of like taking his image and what he represents and like going in that regards, and he's like hunting them down, and like it spins like that. I think that could be kind of creative, but other than that, like it's just so tough on where he would fit. Like take his symbol even out of it and like what that's being used for, like these days, it's just the character is just so brutal and so dark, and with the vibe what the MCU is like, I think the dark stuff is just nowhere near of like what he is kind of representing. He incredibly tragic character, but that being said, it doesn't mean that you can't do Punisher PG-13. I just think for where the MCU is at, it just doesn't really fit that well. And again, I could be proven wrong, but I think I wouldn't put my chips on that bet. I would love to see John Bernthal obviously back, because yeah, he's absolutely fantastic as that character. But for like the believability of that actually happening, I would say no. I would say thumbs down on that.
Dilmas, where are you on these 3 issues?
So you said one of these was like a C tier. Was that the Punisher one, or which one?
Yeah, it's
or was that-
Punisher, but she's
Okay.
been getting a lot of. She got most of the cameras read Multiverse Madness. She had lots of Spider-Man Home or No Way Home stuff, and she got the Miss Marvel. So she's had some good scoops out of this past year. She's cementing herself. So
Okay. Yeah, I could see it happening. I don't foresee a Punisher show getting released anytime soon, but I think that they are really ramping up that street level kind of character stuff. Lots going on in New York, so I could see him popping up. And I mean, we've gotten so many other confirmations of those Marvel Netflix people coming over with at least 3 other characters now. And so, you know, John Bernthal being maybe the biggest star from Marvel Netflix? Is there anyone who'd be?
I
bigger
think
than him?
so. No, I think currently you're right. Like, I think the only one would be
Yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio, but other than that, I think John Bernthal.
So even
Mr.
even
D'Onofrio.
if as Kirklin mentioned, like the Punisher, that character is kind of in a weird place right now as a symbol. I still think, okay, well, he's the biggest star from that continuity. He's got a lot of ties to specifically the other characters that have been confirmed. The other actors who are confirmed to come back now joining the MCU. So I don't know. I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I shared the sentiment a couple weeks ago. Cause I'm going to call out S-Bubs here. We love S-Bubs, but also a couple weeks ago, S-Bubs posted like something in the Discord that was like Punisher rumored coming back. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. Like, this makes a lot of sense. And he's like, oh, actually, this is a fake. This is a fake thing. I'm like, why are you posting this? Like, what is the joke here of like just this very believable thing that sounds totally logical? Like, what's the meme with this? Like, why are you posting this just to fuck with me? So now, S-Bubs, just so you know, anytime you post anything in the Discord now, I take it with a huge grain of salt. I'm not believing anything.
That's hilarious.
Your track record, you're way off for me now. But I'd like to see you climb back up that scooper tier for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I would love to see it because I have watched every season of The Punisher and every season of Daredevil that had that character in it. And he is fantastic. All those screams, we referenced those a lot in the reviews, Travis, just like the guttural screams. So good. Love John Bernthal, so hope it comes back. Well, I don't know what fucking giant freaking robot is.
So giant freaking robot is a place that they're just full of bad scoops. They just
well,
make
I know
up
that
stuff.
now,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's like
That's like his response. Is
that's
the
just
joke
like the
that it was
most
giant freaking
lukewarm
robot.
like rumor post, like popular actor who's coming back alongside other characters. It's anyway. I'm over it. Moon Knight season 2. This is a weird one. Like it's kind of uncanny. You know, like why are they there? That is kind of puzzling.
They've been there since the show released. Waiting for season 2.
Feige won't let them leave the country.
And I don't know. I mean, their responses
You think
to
Zazzlaw's bad?
I kind of see their responses as like Oscar Isaac and the director. What is the director's name? Sorry, I don't know this guy.
Oh, I
very
think it's a dual bill or something like that.
Okay.
I think it's some name I probably
Well,
butchered to high heaven, but Kirkland's
yeah, like
gonna,
I don't. Their
know.
response. You know, they're kind of being put on the spot, but like I'm sure they get asked this question all the time.
Yeah.
But like they're also being videoed, but they don't necessarily know that it's like potentially a popular TikTok. It's kind of a weird situation. I think I would be surprised if Moon Knight season 2. Here's what's surprising to me. I don't if that show is filming now in Cairo, which is what this would make me to believe. Like, why would Oscar Isaac go to Cairo if they are scouting out locations or stuff? Like, why would Oscar Isaac be there? That seems really weird to me. So if they're filming it now, Mohammed Diab is his name. There you go.
Where did I get that name
You were
from?
way
A dual
off.
bill.
Yeah, you're way
actually, I
off.
think that's one of the Miss Marvel ones. I think. Well,
you go.
type in the Batgirl directors, Kirkland. Redeem me. I think one of them is a dual billy. So I think you could be right. If not, then it's just too late for me. You know?
We're really going off the rails today. To finish my thought, if Moon Knight season 2 was filming now, to me that would just be a bit shocking, right? Like, what other MCU thing would be filming now or even this year that hasn't been announced yet? Like, the answer is nothing, right? Like,
X-Men, bringing Apocalypse back.
don't think so.
That's why he's in Cairo.
I really want that What If episode. That's just like, I don't know, the Oscar Isaac episode where you get both the
Apocalypse has a
characters.
beard. That'd be fantastic. We gotta like rebrand this character so people don't think of that version.
I don't know anything about Oscar Isaac's personal life. I don't know why the fuck he's in Cairo, but I don't think it's for Moon Knight season 2. Eternals 2. This one seems weird. I'll say it's legit. Yeah, that's happening. There you go.
Taylor Phil, what are your thoughts on all this stuff here? Save us, get us back on track, which I know isn't gonna happen.
I mean, what are the chances of? I mean, maybe, just maybe, they are doing something where they need Oscar Isaac's character to come back for some Dune scene or something.
Dune?
With the director of Moon Knight specifically.
Yeah, they're bringing him into,
Come
He's
along
our
for the
second
ride.
unit.
I don't know. That just seems way too spot on, peculiar. I mean, this.
What if Feige was on the boat with them? Would you have believed it then?
I think Feige would have pulled a gun on him, like, don't talk about Moon Knight 2.
Feige just loses his position.
You want your passports, huh? Yeah.
I'll cancel your show.
I just think that it's too spot on. It's just super random. I didn't know we're in the age. Is that the thing with TikTokers now? They're just like all of a sudden scoopers where they're just finding these things.
Some of them
like,
are.
Some of them are.
That's a good way to get some
Kudos
hits.
to them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still very peculiar. You happen to stumble upon the director, and then you happen to stumble upon like the star of the show, just like boom, right there. And the star of the show just looks stoned out of his mind and doesn't even know.
Oh,
what
he's
planet
definitely
he's on.
stoned out of his mind. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is very, very odd. But I do believe it's gonna happen because I think the likelihood of us seeing Moon Knight should have been pretty high on that schedule when we had a Comic-Con occur, and it wasn't there. So it just makes me think, okay, they're gonna have something lined up in their pocket for D23. They're just gonna whip out, and it's gonna be a Moon Knight season 2 somehow. And tying that in with Eternals 2, I think again that's something that's very, very likely to occur because it's. I mean, again, it made like 400 million, I think, at the box office. It's definitely not a $1 billion Marvel movie, but
I mean, don't you think the turnaround time of like, okay, Moon Knight comes out in March, it ends also in March, or what? Like, did it roll over into? I'm trying to remember when it actually started.
I think
6
it
episodes?
I think April. Yeah. I think it did because it's March 30th.
So don't you think they would like wait and see how that did first, and if people liked it before going ahead?
It depends if they
Like
film
with
it,
like another season, like maybe you put Moon Knight in a movie or something, but for like to confirm another season, don't you think they'd wait a bit? Like, so for them, like that show to end in March, have a script ready to go, and like be filming in July? Like, isn't that just?
I think
a
it
bit
could have,
wild?
honestly, I mean, it could be maybe like a part 1, part 2 kind of thing. Like, who knows how many more seasons we're getting, but maybe they were there and they had a long story and like, okay, we'll cap out this for season 1, kind of like the what if scenario.
Wouldn't they have done like Moon Knight will be back in season 2 at the
I
end?
feel
of it?
like it. Yeah.
You'd think so, but
I don't
know what they're
believe
Too
doing
much
tomorrow.
peculiar stuff going on. It's too
I don't
much funny
think,
business.
Yeah, I think they might just be in Cairo for shits and giggles. I do think it's real and happening, but I don't think they'd be filming this right now. I do think that they'll announce it and be ready to go. Not be ready to go, but just like they're gonna start it or they maybe already started. But I do think you'll get an announcement. I just, I think that it was one of the higher. I guess no, not higher. Just kind of met the other MCU premieres, which was a good job because it was a unknown character. So I think that from April, May, June, July, August, 4 months. That could be enough. That could be enough time to just at least green light season 2. But I don't think they're filming it. I don't think so. Punisher,
Eternals.
Okay, you mentioned Eternals. Sorry.
Yeah, Eternals. I am not surprised. It's visually captivating, and they want to pursue that story because they left it definitely open, and I can see how that would lead into more of the big bad scenario overall that we're going to get into with the MCU.
What was his name? Amish the Judge or
Amish?
Arm the Judge, whatever his name was in Eternals.
Wasn't it that adult name you were talking about earlier?
No, this is a different one.
What about the fucking? Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. Dylan hasn't seen the movie.
Next week, baby.
Next
Watch
week,
this
yeah, I'll
week.
bring it up.
Yeah, no, good for Eternals. With Punisher, I feel like there's something I've always brought up, but Travis, you're quick to say like, "Oh, Punisher, not happening." So
I didn't think so.
I don't know what to say now in the situation where it's just kind of like
Taylor told you.
the feel. Nah, those don't happen often.
I don't think he ever told. He never was like, "No, Travis, it's for sure happening."
Yeah, no, I didn't say that. The toes are getting wet though; they're just dangling out in the lake, and I think that if we get some Punisher coming around,
Just fucking grab you, Frank Castle. Whose boat was it? Where's Apocalypse?
Oscar, get off the
Took my family.
I feel like Punisher is likely gonna pop around the corner at some point here. I think
that's his intro. He just like, hey,
pops around the
Daredevil,
corner.
I'm here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen. They got
Arsham.
so much that they're kind of
Arsham.
Arsham. Thank you, Swubs.
Arsham the Judge.
They got stuff that they gotta whip out, like Midnight Suns and more Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, some Ghost Rider. Like they just got to get into this.
You
whole
just throw
area.
Ghost Rider in there.
Feige did drop, and we didn't talk about the Comic-Con. He did drop, but when he's talking about street level heroes, he brought up Ghost Rider. So.
Ghost Rider's not a fucking street level hero.
He's
an
the
Avengers
Feige.
threat level, street level hero.
Mr. 10-Year Plan it is.
Yeah.
He is in Feige's 10-year plan, that's for sure.
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, that's all the rumors fit to print. So we're going to take our last ad break, and then we're going to be back with some Andor. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So, Dylan, are you sticking around for Andor? You want to bounce?
Sure.
Or what do
I
you
You
watched
fucking love Andor, don't
And we're
you?
going to do, well, Taylor, or actually, Taylor, you pull up the trailer because you have all the spots. You're like, didn't you see these clone troopers in there? I was like, I didn't see shit. So you can point out anytime you want to pause and, tell us what's going on. But yeah, Andor. So people didn't know, there was two things that happened with Disney Plus this week. She-Hulk is going to Thursdays, and it's going to be Thursday every time for the amount of it releasing. And then Andor is going to have a 3-episode premiere on September 21st. There's 12 episodes, but 3-episode premiere. And yeah, that's pretty huge. But now we got a Marvel show on Thursday and a Star Wars show on Wednesday. So they're playing with the dates, which I think we all think is a good idea, because why release all that stuff on the same day? It's just like play with it. So we got that going on. Then we got this trailer. So Taylor, bring it up anytime you're ready. And I'm going to let you talk. I'm not sure too, Taylor. I guess, Dylan, have you seen this trailer in general?
I have seen it generally.
Okay. Did you like the trailer? I guess I should ask you guys that before we look at the breakdown of it all.
I gotta say, I actually was quite impressed with the trailer as someone who's very out of the Star Wars realm right now. I thought it looked pretty good. It looked like something different, I will say, from the Star Wars thing. I think the thing that maybe killed my hype a bit was it's like a prequel to Rogue One, which I guess makes sense based on the character that we're going with here. So that doesn't excite me at all. But I like the tone of this. I like the vibe. I don't know if I'm staying up to midnight to watch 3 episodes on September 9th.
Well, we're not even doing that, so there you go.
But I was quite impressed with the trailer, I got to say.
Yeah, and I would say because this first shot, they said that they did not use the volume for this. They went old school, as Tony Gilroy said. So there's a lot of practical going on with this show. So that's why if you look at a lot of the landscapes, go, oh, that doesn't look like the volume, because it's not the volume. It's a bit better budget. But Kirklin, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, no, I watched this trailer just before cast, and I really, really like this one. I liked the last trailer, but this was that, but just even more so. Visually, it was absolutely gorgeous. This shot that Taylor has right now, it's just, I'm in Middle Earth right now when I see this. Like, it's just, it looks so gorgeous. I love the green and everything, and even when we're in the city and stuff, like all the visuals look absolutely fantastic. I love the costume designs, and I think I'm ready to go into some nice politics, honestly, in Star Wars. It's been a hot minute, so I'm ready for that. And I like the cloak and dagger. I just love Diego Luna, like, narrating in this trailer, too, of, I forget the line specifically that he says, of just something like, they never would have assumed that I would, like, infiltrate them. And it's just, it got me hyped. Like, I'm really excited to see that cloak and dagger, like, spy versus spy. Maybe not spy versus spy. Spy versus the government, like just whole situation. So I'm very much looking forward to this. That first teaser like had me, and this was just even more so. So I'm pretty surprised that like my hype is just totally ramping up, because Rogue One, I think I'm pretty positive on that movie. I'm not quite where Taylor is, but I'm definitely not where Travis. Actually, you don't really hate on it, right? You just say it's overrated.
It's just, yeah, I think it's for people that so many people call it the best Star Wars movie. They're taking some fucking crazy pills, but I would pass it.
Yeah, I really like that movie. I really like what it is. And fortunately, I'm not too bothered the fact that I know how it ends. Like I know that it's a prequel, so I know where we're gonna get to. I think I'm able to just sit in there and enjoy the film for what it is, and I think I'm gonna be able to do that. Pardon me, for this series. So I'm really looking forward to this.
You fell asleep in Rogue One, didn't you, Dylan?
I might have dozed. It was a different time in GeekVerse history. Nowadays, if I fell asleep in a movie, I would not join the review. I would feel like that's unethical. But you know what? At the time, what was it, 2016, 15, 17? I don't know. Long time ago. I dozed a little bit. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Before Taylor hits play and gives his thoughts, I talked about this and Travis told you that I I thought it was a phenomenal trailer, and I liked that first trailer, but everyone was loving it. I was like, yeah, this looks fine, but I was not. Man, I can't wait for the show. This got me there. The practicalness, that's why I showed it, just because it looks a lot better than a lot of the Disney Plus stuff we've gotten. So I would like to see people fall in suit of this and everything like that. But Super Bad Mike says he's taking crazy pills. Yeah, because he's Rogue One's not your favorite movie, Taylor. You're not. Don't fucking lie to Super Bad Mike. Pick one. Pick one.
Probably
Don't do both.
Rogue One. I've said this before though in the past.
That's such a lie. I feel like so many times he said Revenge of the Sith. He's like, Anakin, he's walking up to the fucking Coruscant Council and he has those storms.
I've dabbled between Rogue One and Revenge. It kind of goes back and forth. Some days I say Rogue One's there. Empire Strikes Back's always like in the third of the three. Though.
I promise you, when we eventually do some Star Wars rankings on Patreon, when we get to that one slot, he's gonna put Revenge. He's like, I just have to, because I feel like you talk about Rogue One being great, but when it comes down to it, Revenge of the Sith gets that edge and stuff like that. So he's lying.
It's Order 66, Taylor. I feel like that's always the push. Like I feel like they are even for you, but then Order 66 happens,
and you just like Rogue One just for the Vader scene. Like you like it for one
Not
scene.
just for the
That's
Vader
it.
scene.
Yeah,
There's so much more about it that I love.
Anyways, so I
believe Taylor.
I really don't believe him. He's a liar. He probably didn't even listen to what you said, Kirklin. So don't believe him.
That means nothing to me.
But I'm really liking this trailer. It got me actually excited for this series. So Taylor, what did you think? And then S-Bubs, this is completely right. Definitely in the top 11 Star Wars movies. Yeah, S-Bub hit the nail on the head there. Yeah,
number 1 out of 11, right? S-Bubs.
I don't know about that.
I love this trailer. I will say I like the first one a little bit more, just what it presented in terms of that, like we were saying, cloak and daggerness, Kirkland. This one just expanded upon that, gave us a couple like re-scenes and such, which is totally fine because like I love that. But I think just the way the first one was embodied, just getting Mon Mothma, just having this idea of her just not being trusted in the Imperial Senate, seeing the Imperial Senate, so many different factors in there. It felt like escalation. I really liked it. This trailer just looks beautiful. You're right. This is Middle Earth. Fucking Sauron's right over there chilling. You know, got the hobbits here.
Sauron.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's absolutely outstanding. But I think that this show has a lot of potential. The prequel aspect does not bother me whatsoever. I'm super jazzed to see what we're going to be experiencing here because, like I said, that previous trailer showed clone troopers, and I've really been wanting to learn more about the transition period between clones and stormtroopers because we get a little bit of that in the Bad Batch when we see the Imperial stormtroopers being brought into commission, basically. And after seeing that clone trooper in Obi-Wan, that just blew my mind. So there's just so much here that I really want to just like soak in. And the political aspect too. Fuck, I love Star Wars politics. When you get into it in the books and just how greedy and betraying the Imperial political leaders are, it's so juicy and you just eat that stuff up. It's great. Did you have your hand up there, Travis?
No, I was doing the juice.
The juice
squeeze,
right? Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I'm ready to hit play. You guys,
we haven't hit play yet. What's going on?
I was waiting for you.
Dylan was hoping to miss the whole
Yeah.
So there we go. We got these two folks here. That's good.
Okay, no, you don't need to pause for stuff like that.
These hardfoot hobbits.
That's grass. I see rocks, guys.
This I want to shout out. This is the first AK-47 in the Star Wars universe.
Like, hold up.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Hold up. It's like you could take this clip and like put it in like I don't know, Red Dawn, whatever. Yeah, Warzone.
I really like those huts also in the background. I don't know if they're great at keeping you warm.
They're not insulated very well.
No.
But
they got a fireplace going though, I think.
They must
right
have a fire. It looks like a fire there. Yeah.
This
guy wind will just go right through those walls, though.
Clearly, he's using bullets. I've never seen this before in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
It's a small clip.
So could this be like a flashback to Earth? Do we finally go to Earth in the Star Wars
Wait,
universe?
Is that a true fact that there's no bullets in Star Wars ever? It's all laser?
I've never seen it. Like, there are, like,
crossbows,
I've never seen it.
There's darts and stuff, but even the crossbows you shoot lasers, so
that's true.
Never
I feel like I've never
automatic
wondered
rounds.
that until this moment, actually.
Yeah.
Is this going to be an AK-47 of lasers? Is that what's going to
That's
happen?
some serious, like, YouTube fanfic stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Disney Plus Star Wars, baby.
Oh, man. But yeah, that'll be interesting. So obviously everyone's looking. Everyone's freaking out.
Yeah, people are people thinking this is where Cassian was from? Maybe is that what it is, or just some random planet? Because I know they talk about we might see some Cassian as a fucking kid or something. And this right here just reminds me of Rogue One. Like, we're just gonna show you cool Star Wars iconic shots. It's
I
like,
fucking love ships
Nothing
in the
wrong
sky.
with
of course you do.
Travis.
Yeah.
Oh,
What'd you say?
Nothing wrong with that, Travis.
What? There is when we're
Getting shown
fucking
cool shit.
when we're in like 7 years in this Disney deal, you know. But it's fine.
They spent so much money on that live ship though, since they're axing the green screen
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah, they built that. This is a practical ship. George flew it himself. Yep. It can
It was in
fly.
his contract when he sold. He's like, when you guys eventually do Andor, I'm going to be
get-
driving the
They
ship.
dropped Oscar Isaac off in Cairo.
Listen here. You see line 6 right there? I fly all ships graded. That's in my contract. Do it. Star Wars. That's not real. That's not practical.
We need a dilapidated quarry stat.
Yeah.
What is this place? This is a cool location.
I feel like that could be Andor's home, right? Is that him as a kid? I just heard.
Looks like it could be
Yeah, I
an
thought we were
Andor.
hearing like rumors of like an episode or flashbacks of him as a kid. So I'm sure someone's gonna be banging a hunk of metal and he's gonna start thinking about shit.
Oh,
so.
God, don't say that.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I'm pretty sure this is when the machines Ghost Rider took control of in Spirit of Vengeance.
oh my god.
I don't think it's just a motorcycle. Oh yeah, that's probably him, right? He's climbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then,
Oh, look at
this
the
Imperial
Taylor's
logo.
juicing right now.
little
yeah.
Coruscant moment, or
I'm just thinking, like, if we see a Palpatine right in there, I'm just
Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Is that his
Papa
cousin?
Pizza.
Better ingredients.
Palpatine.
Better diplomacy.
I just can't wait. I want to see the blue eared dude in there too, and the
Yeah.
little like ghoulish bald lady in there. I want to see like Palpatine's
Ghoulish bald
buddies. In
Taylor,
crime.
do they float when they're like talking? Is that how that works? Like
That's
the-
how
the-
it works.
okay,
yeah. So
and they get the
all
spotlight on
tension
them.
goes on.
You didn't have to
yeah.
ask Taylor. I knew that answer.
There's a
too.
literal
I did
spotlight shining down on
Yeah.
them too. That's so
I love it.
magical.
I knew because I
That's
just watched the movies. So you know.
Like
Did
it's
you
good
love
that they
them?
rebuilt it too, because I mean it got fucking wrecked when
days.
Obi or Yoda was in here.
Well, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Before
I don't
they
think
bought
I
it.
don't think you're gonna see Palpatine here. You're not gonna see Palpatine. He's
Who's up there right now?
somebody speaking on behalf of Palpatine. This is the era that I feel like
Natalie
he would be
Portman.
hiding. So
or
Shit.
or Bail Organa, just in center
Yep.
stage there.
could be.
Jimmy Smits.
Jimmy.
Ooh, this guy.
It'd be crazy. Jimmy Schmitz is just like popping up in all these projects. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
So he's just exploring some Imperial ship. Doesn't look too thrilled about it.
no.
Now this is interesting. Is he undercover? Would you guys say as the Imperial agent?
Probably they do this in all
Yes.
Star Wars, right? They just dress up as a bad guy and like, oh, you're one of us.
It's just like Hitman. You know?
Is that where he drops the line too? Of like they never would have assumed I was with them.
Yeah.
Cassian Andor.
Oh man. So this is where it gets like super juicy. Look at those clone troopers.
No colors though.
Oh yeah, those are clone troopers, eh?
Those are clone
Yeah,
troopers.
see, I didn't
well,
notice
the
that.
clone troopers on Geonosis had no colors too, right? But
Yeah, but
that's
by
like
the
when
time
they
it
were
ended.
fresh off Camino. Yeah, that's right.
It's more or less like a transitional thing. They kind of insinuate that in the Bad Batch too. They were kind of remove the marks of like the colorings and just more symbolic, I guess, less
More
individuality.
scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like seeing stuff like this actually because it it just fills in more for that quick jump of having like flashy clone troopers to just like in the original movies where you just have the stormtrooper look like black and white. I like seeing like the in between, and I hope we keep seeing that if we do get more prequels and in between stuff. I'm sure we will. I like that. It's just more details.
The one kicker for me with this is like with live action, we see the clones being heroes, and obviously we see them turn in Order 66, but you don't get to really experience that transition period with the clones and the people that they've been protecting. And that's one of my favorite things about the Bad Batch is you have the clones swooping in, and now people have to deal with the clone troopers now being this opposing force just taking over when they're supposed to liberate them. It's something they always talked about with the clones going in, saving the Wookiees, and then turning on the Wookiees and making them slaves. It's a big component in like I'm sure you know Kirklin Star Wars Battlefront 2, that campaign when you're the clones and you go in and they're talking with the dialogue like how we had to go back and like take over and stuff. So this is an example
good.
of that. It's just intense.
That's
Oh
probably
my
where a lot of my passion for those in between come from. Honestly, is that original Battlefront game. Oh, so
Oh,
fantastic.
absolutely. We got some more death.
You know who this
troopers
is? This This is probably a new character just for a series, I'd imagine.
It's like Sauron from Lord of the Rings.
Fuck off.
I've never seen her before in my life. Do you know
She's
who
gonna
she is?
die in this
Okay.
series.
You don't know that. Doesn't
She
like
will.
that,
They always kill these bad guys off.
Do
in
they?
these ones because it's a prequel. They're like, they weren't around.
Obi-Wan
Yeah,
was
get
a
rid of
prequel.
Yeah, and what happened to some of those bad guys?
Exactly. Gotcha.
The snow speeder pilot. He died. I think that's the only one.
Great design though of the Death
fucking Reva.
Troopers. Sweet.
So we got this lady running around. Love
thought
interest.
that was the
maybe?
Yeah. Oh,
DBZ
that's a
symbol
love
on her
interest.
shirt there.
So did I actually the first time I watched that Goku symbol.
We got some cool shit going here. It looks like they're decommissioning, which is great because it's kind of
Jedi Fallen Order opening. Right
Jedi
there.
Fallen Order-esque. Yeah.
Bumps in
Who's the
cow.
character that Selvig's playing in this?
I can't remember if they've given a name to him,
He's
but it's
in it a lot. Like especially the second half of this trailer, he's in
Yeah.
pretty much every shot.
what I find interesting. We'll get into because he has like the short hair and then he has the long hair. I'm thinking that
Oh, I
we
didn't
might
catch the long hair.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might see him defect. Like maybe he used to be with the Empire and then he left. But yeah, he's all over this. This got me more excited too because I love Stellan, so I'm all for Stellan. Right
He's got a pretty badass ship. I love that. Like, is he a secret Sith? Is that what he's going for?
I don't think so.
It's got the hood.
Ooh, I like that shot a lot.
Good old farmland.
A lot of practical effects. And we recognize you can't see it on your guys' screen, the share screen, but there's this stupid streamer sharing a window right over the freaking YouTube bar, and I can't like click back properly.
That's
But there
a
was the
shame.
one chap from Rogue One who's one of Saw Gerrera's friends, and
We
this
saw
really
him.
got me because not like the one legendary Saw Gerrera is back in action.
Isn't he in just like everything now? I thought I saw that at some point. Has
Saw
he been,
Gerrera's and everything.
Has he been in like other shows or something? Or
He's been in the Clone Wars and what was
Rebels
it?
as well.
Rebels,
Okay.
yeah. So a couple
and then,
things.
yeah, Rogue One in here. Almost bought his action figure the other day, but I couldn't justify $50 for it. So
No, it's just Saw Gerrera. He's not legendary, so
Subtitles when he's talking says Luthen. I'm assuming that's for Stellan. So
Probably,
Taylor,
yeah.
does that name
Luthen.
mean anything?
I've never heard of that name before.
No. Okay.
yeah, no.
Oh,
I
we
think
got
it
some
was-
drop ships. Oh, absolutely just.
I'm weak for
righteous.
those drop ships as well,
Oh,
Taylor.
yeah.
Especially the Clone Wars ones. Like, come on, those are
Oh
so
yeah, they
good.
just
Oh,
file
the
Those are my favorite thing
LAAT
to fly
gunships.
in the space battles in Battlefront. Yeah.
Oh, just beautiful design. You know when you get the paper clip thing and it, like you, it's like
Oh,
a black piece.
That's what I
Yeah.
see. That's what
Oh
I see.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Look at that jawline. Sergeant
He looks
Linus
like a
Moss.
Twilight vampire.
That's
to
who
be honest.
Zazov's gonna cast as the next Batman.
Moss.
Sergeant
Looks more like a
Linus
Superman to me.
Mosk.
There's fomenting out there. What does that mean, fomenting?
There's fomenting. Let me do a quick Google.
Like I know fermenting.
I feel like it's
the
like
opposite.
pondering, kind of like thinking.
There's
like
a
they're
lot of
thinking
thinking
about,
out
they're
there.
thinking about making
Instigate or
moves.
stir up.
Instigate or oh, you beat me to it, you bastard.
or bathe with warm and medicated lotions. Is what I'm saying.
There's a lot of
I
that.
think that's what he's
talking
meaning.
about that. A lot of bathing with medicated lotions.
I don't like it.
We gotta stop that. The Empire doesn't
I
like
want their
bathing.
skin dry.
Yeah.
Medicated
So that
lotions.
it's easier because they won't slip away when we're trying to arrest them. You know, all these lubricated motherfuckers.
Well, pockets of it. Oh man, that's great.
Also known as eczema when you have just dry spot on your skin.
I look like Paige
That's
over
funny.
there for a second.
Oh,
Great
I love
shots
those
again.
ships
This is all
too.
looking good. Got some
Yeah,
lightning in
that
the
sky shot
background.
too. That was in that first teaser, and again, that just looked gorgeous.
Deidre Miro.
So there she is, kicking around.
Star
Ooh,
Wars
that's
is
a
just great names.
Good hologram there.
Fuck. Good hologram there.
Are you a fish? Are you a
Putting the rings
There's
on.
only-
See, look at.
only
Did
two
you see him there with the
options.
long hair? Look at him with long hair. Luthen's looking pretty.
He's looking
stylish.
good.
Yeah. So when we meet, like, what is the present day version of the prequel?
This is
The
a
short hair?
flashback for sure when
Yeah.
he was happy. And,
That's what I think.
And who's
had a wife
who?
and family and all that.
Does that look like an Imperial type character in the back window?
Just Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Standing back there.
You better not be fermenting in there.
No fomenting. That was Chief's first law. that
Because
put in
he couldn't
place.
get his skin looking nice, so he wanted everyone to be like dry and crusty.
No fomenting.
No fermenting. But yeah,
Well, you're allowed
yeah,
to ferment. just
I
not
think
foment.
he was he was bad at one point and realized, this isn't the way to do things. Oh, that doesn't look good back there. That car or spaceship, that's giving me flashbacks of Boba Fett, those fucking bikes they were riding. Oh, God.
I'd let this slide more than the bikes because this is on Coruscant.
You can.
The
This
bikes on
reminds
Tatooine.
Yeah. This reminds me of what like Anakin was flying in Obi-Wan in Clone Wars.
As I said, maybe his family gets killed or taken away by the Empire. That could work, even though
Classic.
that might be a little bit too close to Galen from Rogue One, right? So, I'm not slipping.
Wow.
Is this
That's
the
a
Millennium
clean-looking
Falcon?
No.
Clean looking what?
Millennium Falcon looks like a fucking trash bag compared to that cockpit. It's so sleek and everything.
Yeah, that's the ship
too
he's
low.
got there. Very
Some
cool looking
dog
ship.
fighting, Taylor. You happy about that?
I'm gonna grab my controller and pretend like I'm flying the ship so I watch it.
Poor Madison.
Oh my god, look at that Imperial Senate. It's just outstanding.
Mon Mothma. I'm just loving these names.
Yeah, I like this little back and forth scene. Now, a lot of people
Yeah.
think this is actually Chancellor of the Valorum. Now, they give him that name, but lots of people are like, bullshit, that's not who it is.
It's Tay Kolma.
No,
Okay, cool.
Chancellor of the Valorum. He's the guy in Phantom Menace who is Palpatine before Palpatine, and they overthrow him because they feel like his decisions aren't going well.
Oh yeah, but
And-
that's what you're insinuating this guy, right?
Yeah, but I know. Did you hear what I said about that name?
Tay Kolma, right?
No, I said a lot of people are calling bullshit on this, that name's not real.
Oh yes, good, okay.
Oh yes.
Fuck off. Oh, you mean this name right here? No, look, it says Tacoma. It's
Travis,
not,
it's clearly Tay Kolma.
Yeah.
Clearly,
I
yeah.
could be wrong, but it does look like Terrence Stamp as well from the prequel, so it's plausible. So
That'd be an interesting dynamic because, like, what do you do with a former Supreme Chancellor? I mean,
yeah, but when people are like, "Fuck," just like Dazov, like, "Hey, the guy that was here before, he's a bit better." Maybe they try and get him back in. So
That's exactly what Esmos just said, too.
that is true. I mean, it's interesting because he always, in the Clone Wars, he had some insights to Master Slifer Diaz, and that was unfortunate for Palpatine because it kind of led to some unravelings that almost exposed his plans a little bit. But I digress.
I hope it's him. But I like that scene with Mon Mothma. That was fun. Witness the beginning. We're always witness at the beginning with Star Wars. We're always in the
Was that
fucking
in Clea?
Witness
She
the
wasn't in-
very middle of the
Okay.
story.
Yeah. Oh, it's the beginning of the rebellion now. Here we go. That's what it is.
Oh, 007 vibes, Mission Impossible vibes.
Now,
That's
who are
good.
all these folks in here?
Looking like clones, actually, but probably not.
This could be a
Spartan
prison.
program.
Just a whole
possibly?
bunch of
Yeah,
Tamara
Spartan
Morrisons with
Yeah.
pearly whites.
Oh.
Veneers. God.
Remember when Tamara Morrison
thought
said,
that
"I
was
wish
Maz
Boba
coming
Fett
out.
was
I think
better,"
that's like a prison. I would say because they're all wearing like white jumpsuits, and it looked like
Yeah,
Cassian
fair.
was with them too, and he was breaking out of something.
but This is looking like fucking Uchi of Biston.
Yeah,
That's
very
what
much
it's
so. It
looking
just
like,
gives
yeah.
me Men in Black vibes, kind of.
I was gonna say Taylor, yes, 100%.
that's not
Men in
good.
Black vibes. What's so bad about Men in Black?
I don't want. Yeah, when I'm watching Star Wars, I don't want Men in Black vibes. I want sugar. I want some sugar. I don't want any of this stuff going on.
Sugar water.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
That's he's
making
got
an
his little
appearance.
vial there, the sugar water.
Oh my god, I
Sugar water.
forgot that is Vincent. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it is D'Onofrio.
Oh, this guy's got 4 arms. I did not notice that.
Yeah. We gotta get Jennifer Connelly in here too soon.
Molotov.
Cocktail there.
Top cocklock. I'll be performing one of those later.
That's what I called it. Yeah. That's how I bagged Emily. Show you the Molotov cocklock.
While you're fomenting. Yeah.
Yeah. Great shot. Rogue One had a lot of shots in the rain. So that right there though, that's
That's pretty
looking
juicy.
Nice. All practical.
That's George in there.
They're like, Tom Cruise, while you're flying to the moon, can you get this sweet shot of the outer stratosphere?
Shoot me, George.
Guys, I think I'm going down. Star Wars Andor. 3-episode premiere. Well, do you guys have any thoughts on dropping 3 episodes? In a
Wasn't it
single
originally
day?
August? Was
Yep,
this the
they got
announcement of
delayed.
pushing it with
Yeah.
this trailer? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like the 3-episode thing. I mean, I hope they do that for Daredevil and stuff. Like, come on, give us a
They're gonna
bunch of
have
episodes
to.
at a time. But yeah,
Yeah.
3 is a lot. I wonder if that's like a nice mini arc or that's just what it takes for the
Yeah.
setup of it. I'm not sure.
It could be. It takes
Yeah,
3
'cause
episodes to get good.
Well, I remember thinking that even just with Obi-Wan, that the first episode, like I was kind of like worried about something, but then the second episode answered that right away, and I was pretty satisfied with those 2 complete. So I mean, I would imagine if they're releasing 3, that those 3 just fit really well all together, and then 4 kind of, I don't know, goes in another direction. But
Well, there we go. That is Andor. We'll be reviewing that come September. And you want to say
I
something?
got a quick question,
Someone's
actually.
kind of butted in here. Yeah.
Taylor, bring up like right at the end of the video the little.
Sorry, I just want to point
Is
this
that
out
Boba?
here. There was
What
a
is
scene I
this?
thought I
A
saw with some
center for ants?
Mandalorian armor, and I just want to point out this is what I was looking for here because there's obviously something
100%.
here, and it looks very similar to like Beskar armor.
That just looks like
Totally.
a random piece of
What are
metal
you
to me.
talking about, you
personally.
two?
Right
It's-
here, there's a shoulder piece,
Yeah, you don't
chest
see that?
plate, and shoulder piece.
Mando's sitting right
Nah.
there.
That could be
I
a
don't
fucking
think so.
toaster, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
You see it, Kirkland. You can see where the
I
neck
do.
hole is here
Yeah.
and everything.
Oh, yeah.
and,
Kirkland
like,
has
the shoulder
notoriously bad
straps.
eyes. It's connected to his little mouth.
No, he sees it. He sees
He's
it.
got little eyes.
Kirkland knows chest plates.
All the energy he has to
Those
use
chest
in his
plates.
face goes to his mouth because it's so
good.
small.
Forget this guy. There. No more little mouth talk tonight. Taylor, you didn't do it. You got to bring up the video.
Yeah, you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
say something at the end?
Close the tab. Oh, there it is.
go to the logo for Andor. So the set like the O, is it a different color for just aesthetic or is it like representing some like structure or something? I don't know. No, you don't know.
I think it's just aesthetic. That's what I'm
looks
going
cool.
with. Yeah, I think
It's tying into Halo.
exactly. They saw the show. They're like, "Oh, we could do it better," you know.
I don't know. I wanted to test Taylor's mind here in case this is some like deep meaning thing.
Death Star.
I didn't pick up any deep meaning
Yeah.
behind it. Aside from it just looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
One,
it
two,
does.
3 strikes.
Is
you're
that
out.
did Rogue One do that with their
No.
logo? Is it
very
Kirkland's talking
simple.
crazy.
okay?
I have no rebuttal. Just done with you. Listened to you all week, and now I'm here listening to you.
It made your
bash
life
me.
better, you know. But well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a fun newscast. We had some serious topics, we had some rumor
spicy.
topics, and then some fun trailer talk and everything. But yeah, we'll be reviewing that come September 21st. Yeah, for those 3 episodes, we won't be doing at midnight. We'll review those of the day. We'll watch them when we get home from work, and then be on after. Because yeah, that would be a very long.
I'm
night
down
for
to
the
split at
episodes.
one episode night of next to the next day.
You can split it, yeah. I'm not
there.
doing that. Yeah. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next week. I promise you, not be boring.
Bye-bye.
See ya.